I'd like to talk to you about a menace threatening humanity. It's happening right here, in our very homes, and corrupting the lives of our loved ones.
Maybe they're friendly.
Hello, welcome to this latest episode of the Electronic Eggs podcast. Joining me, Chris Smith, is once again Paul.
Hello. Good
Hi,
to be
Paul.
back again.
Thank
I
you.
love these ones.
Yes, this is our monthly look back at the month of whatever month we're doing. This month is August through 1985, 1995, 2005, and 2015. And we realize that we know less and less about music as we go through the years.
I know. It's actually quite scary.
It is. I do feel about 200-300 years old when we get to 2015 music.
I know. It's like, and again, I know I say it all the time, but despite working in music shops, granted not in 2015, some of these artists are still around, are the names that I recognise when I'm, putting out CDs at work, and I still find it puzzling, but anyway, we know all the 80s and 90s is where it's at,
Yeah,
when it
exactly.
comes to
No one
music,
listens after that
definitely.
anyway. I reckon they turn off.
No, I know.
So let's start then with 1985 and the movies. There's two movies that were released in the UK in August of 1985. The first one being the Richard Pryor and John Candy comedy, Brewster's Millions, which stars Richard Pryor, who inherits a certain amount of money, which he has to spend every single penny and have no assets whatsoever within 30 days to be able to inherit the full estate of his uncle, or great uncle, or like a distant uncle. Yeah, and it's a he's a so he's at the so in the movie he's a minor league pitcher for a minor league baseball team pitcher. John Candy is one of those things that are like the wicket keepers in cricket, but baseball ones.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
a
the ones
catcher.
that wear
No,
loads
I
of
think a catcher, isn't it?
the ones who wear all those padding and stuff when the wicket keepers don't. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's a worse sport than cricket, and it is. It's true. It's shit. It's rounders. It's rubbish. And yeah, so he inherits this money. Hilarity ensues, and yeah, I think it's really good. I think John Candy is very underutilized in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's basically when Richard Pryor is sort of still, it is sort of glory period,
Oh, he is.
where it's,
Yeah, he
because
is
it's
at the
not just the Gene
peak.
Wilder stuff. It's
No.
anything he does around that was like a real good, you know, you were guaranteed some laughs. It's like when we look at people like Jim Carrey, for example. When you get like the sort of like really good run of comedy
Yeah.
films. So you've got things like See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and stuff. And again, Bruce's Millions is one of those that still still
Stir
sells at
Crazy was
work.
absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic as well.
yeah. And we were just on like a winning run, and like I say, this now 40 years old, still sells fairly regularly. You're not every
It was
week,
on TV a few weeks
It
back
used to
on
be on
Sunday on
loads so
Channel 5.
when I was a kid. Oh wow, I've not watched it for
I
so
watched it.
long.
I did watch it recently as well, just to see. Um, it holds up surprisingly well.
That's good to hear that.
It does hold
I
up
just
because
always
it's,
remember it being on loads as a kid.
yeah, I remember I watched it a lot. That and Moving, I watched a lot. The other Richard Pryor movie,
Yes,
where
God, I've never watched that, but I used to have it on video when I used to collect me VHS because I went, oh, I might watch this one day. Never did.
yeah, there was a Brewster's Millions Christmas release. Did you know that?
No,
Back
no.
last year.
Oh, oh God, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't obviously have any of the main stars as they are both dead.
A death.
Yeah, sadly. So yeah, and apparently it's absolutely shit. It does have his daughter in it though, Rain Pryor.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
suppose there's a very tedious link there. Oh
And
my
it
God.
follows
No.
Morgan Brewster, who embarks on a journey to inherit her uncle Montgomery's fortune before Christmas. So Monty Brewster is the main character of Brewster's Millions, and his niece is the one who's going to inherit his fortune. And I don't think hilarity ensues because it's got terrible, terrible ratings. So
Oh
there we
my God.
go. Yeah. So that's the first movie out of the way. Brewster's Million.
Maybe though, the person who made that film was experiencing their very own Brewster's Millions, and they had to basically spend money and went, I know, I'll just make a shit version of Brewster's Millions and just rush it
Yeah,
out.
that's an asset though, so he wouldn't.
Ah, but is
So
it?
you see,
Oh
yeah, it
no,
would be an asset, wouldn't it?
spoiled.
Because
Ah,
unless it didn't make any money whatsoever, which I'm hoping it didn't.
it
Um,
probably didn't. And if you don't release it physically, then it's
yeah,
just digital and it can just disappear. I don't
I
know.
mean, it's such a weird thing, though, isn't it, that they did a movie like a sequel to it, it's like nearly 40 years later.
I hate that idea.
Because the thing is
That's
as
up there
well,
with Son of the Mask.
it was a straight to TV movie in America, so but I can't see
Oh,
any critical response for it anywhere. So I'm guessing nobody even bothered to review it. But yeah, I find it strange though that Rain Pryor doesn't play his niece
I
when
know.
she
I thought that.
clearly
Yeah,
looks like Richard Pryor. And they've got
yeah,
a lady called China Anne McLean, whom I've never heard of,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Anyway, let's move on to the second movie, the only other movie released in August, and that was Rambo: First Blood Part 2. So this was Sylvester Stallone reprising his role as the Vietnam War veteran John Rambo, and obviously it was a sequel to First Blood, and it is the second film in the Rambo film series. I
Ooh,
haven't seen this for many, many years, but this is
same.
the one with the highest death count, wasn't it, in movies for a long time?
Possibly again because I
Until
know.
Hot Shots,
Yeah,
part two.
that'd actually make sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense to sort of take the mick out of that and make sure that they shout about it going with beaten Rambo First Blood Part 2. But I
yeah.
listened to a podcast, another one, sorry, about the Rambo game, and then
You
they also
can
talked
listen
about
to
the
other
film.
podcasts.
Oh
I
yeah, I
do.
know, I know.
I know I don't
Oh,
listen to the ones I'm ever on, but I
oh
do
no, it's
listen
awful.
to I do listen to other people's.
But no, and we were talking about the films, and I was like, and we mentioned like Brian Dennehy in one of them, and they were talking about like, but the first two films, I was like, I barely remember them because back when I was into all my action films, and it was like Arnie, mad on Arnie films, I never really bothered about Sylvester Stallone because
Well,
I'd not watched the Rocky films at the time. I'd not the first one of his I remember watching was like Tango and Cash. But I just wanted Arnie as the action hero, like in Commando, um, what's it called, Predator, and things like that. Sylvester Stallone didn't really do it for me.
this part two, because the first one obviously wasn't called Rambo. It was just called First
First Blood,
Blood.
yeah.
And this was the first one to actually be titled Rambo: First Blood Part Two. And this one was actually co-written by James Cameron, Sylvester Stallone and James Cameron writing the screenplay,
That's really surprising. That I mean, you got some big
isn't it?
names there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's
I just
strange because it's bizarre that James Cameron was writing this, yet he'd already done some good stuff. So,
yeah.
and yeah, this is not a great movie. I will just say, I think this is like the weakest of the three because I think Rambo 3 is probably my favorite of the three.
Of you, yeah, yeah. They'll stick to original
Yeah,
trilogy. But number
yeah.
5 wasn't too
I
bad.
forget that there's those ones. Yeah,
Last Blood.
yeah,
But yeah, Rambo 4 was absolutely god awful.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Not a
just
series I'm
with
bothered
the
about.
original.
Put it
No,
this I've never ever owned them. So even when I bought videos, DVDs, Blu-rays, I've never ever had them in my collection. So I've never been bothered about
no.
owning them still.
I've played one of the Rambo games on the Master System, and I think that's about it.
Mm, yeah.
So
No,
I've not been that
not for
bothered
me.
about Rambo. It's not for me, thank you. We'll move on then to
Yes,
music.
music,
So, in the music, in charts, we have one number one single for the whole month, and that is Into the Groove by Madonna.
but it's so good.
It is a great song, isn't it?
It is. It's
I mean,
I say
Madonna
this again,
then was fantastic.
80s and 90s Madonna,
Yeah,
brilliant.
absolutely.
Absolutely brilliant, and obviously reinvented herself so much. I
I
am
don't
very,
think you
very
could.
harsh on her now, but
The thing
back
is,
then,
like,
untouchable.
we do say, there are people today, like your Taylor Swift and stuff, who are very, very famous, but they weren't as famous as Madonna was in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, for sure. Because
Like,
again,
she
she
was
tapped into all
everywhere.
the marketing and everything, the
Yeah,
books, the music videos, I'm sure it was like drinks promotions and stuff like that, like just again, she was just like so on brand and on topic, like, yeah, well, like, on topic with everything, she knew how to be marketed and market herself.
yeah,
And I think that's just a
she
big
was.
thing. Like nothing ever got stale. It's
But she
when I do look
changed,
at her
didn't she?
now, I'm
She would
like,
change her style.
oh yeah, yeah,
That
you
was
saw
the
it all the
great thing
time.
about her. Yeah, yeah.
When you
Her
go to
music
the
style changed all the time.
sexy early 90s sexy stuff, and then going into the Evita era, and then coming out of that
Yeah,
to the Ray of Light era and stuff, and then you think from the start of 1990 to the end of 1990s, you just like gone through so many different looks. But you even started seeing this in the 80s when she came onto scene about 83, maybe 80, probably 84. Just like obviously a bit like just young pop star, but then
yeah.
like with this era, you've got things like Material Girl coming up. You've got Like a Prayer, which is still like an amazing song. But yeah, Into
The
the Groove is
opening to
brilliant.
Like a
They
Prayer
just
with
oh
that
god, yeah.
guitar riff. Yeah, it's so good.
It's brilliant. But again, her 80s output is absolutely fantastic. You have a
She's
look at
up
those
there with
albums.
Michael Jackson, right?
Oh
In
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah,
hits. For
yeah.
hits. Like they were absolutely massive. And the other thing is as well, just for example, when you look at that the old computer game Rockstar Ain't My Hamster, obviously they had,
Mm,
you were the big stars as well as a few has been sprinkled in because he had a Gary Glitter in there. But they had people like Michael Jackson, George Michael, Madonna, Elton John. So they had like the massive names in there, and then like say a few of the has beens you know. But
like, do
yeah,
you still
Madonna
feel
was
bad when you hear what's it called, the Gary Glitter song there? Hey, um,
oh KLF with Doctrine of TARDIS.
yeah, and you
Yeah,
just think,
at times, yeah,
I feel bad for really liking this song.
yeah. Even more so when you see the what's it called? Um, the Top Pops version of it when he was on stage with them,
Oh yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, God.
You're a wrong
Uh,
one. Yeah.
I know. Anyway, let's move on to the
Anyway,
next
move on
one.
to albums. So albums then. There's two number one albums in the charts. Brothers in Arms from Dire Straits still hanging in there. This is why it was the first CD to sell 1 million copies, because it did
Yeah,
not leave the bloody charts.
but
It was number
that
one
makes
back in
sense.
March and
Yeah,
then
I
came
remember when
back
we
in
first
July.
mentioned it.
Yeah,
But all
it's
it
insane.
takes is a couple of singles, and then you're just like going, "Oh yeah, the album
It's a
is moving
great
back up
album
and
though.
everything."
Like, it's
Yeah,
such a good
it's
album.
right. We'll only touch on this just for a minute because otherwise we'll be
Yeah,
repeating
because
ourselves.
this is the
But
third time we've spoken about it. Yeah, um,
yeah, but the thing is, it's there for a reason. It's still
yeah.
seen as one of the best-selling albums. Well, it obviously is, but it's still seen as one of those where it's a big deal,
Oh
and to
yeah,
be still hanging around nowadays, sorry, at the top of the charts then, and going back. But this is what made the chart so special. I liked the fact that albums and singles would it was more exciting because 1 minute they're rising and rising, they've dropped down a little bit. Oh my god, they've gone back to number one.
yeah,
Or, like when you watch Top at Pops, it's like, oh, in at number 35. But it could be someone like Duran Duran, or or maybe like, maybe a bit high for someone like them. But then you see it climbing throughout the week. So someone like The Cure, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
Secure got a new song, and then it'd be like, oh god, it's just jumped up to a number 11, and then obviously it was like excitement. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was like a race, a proper race. And nowadays, I could not care less. You know, it's just
No.
it's
And
just
without Top
totally
of the
different.
Pops, what's the point?
No, I know, because again, you had Chop of the Pops, no, you had Top of the Pops, and you had the Chart Show. So I was trying to say
Yeah.
both, but yeah, and then also you had other like little music shows, like on mini runs, didn't go very long, but like tucked away late at night and stuff like that. Where you might just get like 20 minutes of, I don't know, a bit of music coverage. It was exciting, but yeah,
It was
so.
great. I used to love the chart
Mm,
show on a
let's have a
Sunday
look at thing.
afternoon.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's a big one, definitely. So
Yeah,
I'm
who
looking
did
at
you
this
listen
next
to?
one.
Did you listen to Virgin or BBC for the
Well, for
chart?
me, it was for the charts. It was still BBC. So we had the only radio station I listened to was Key 103 up in Manchester, because that had like you'd have the charts, and then on the Sunday night you'd have the rave stuff. Stu Allen, the old
Oh yeah.
rave DJ. So from say 4:30, I think it started 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30. You had then till 7ish, I think it was, wasn't it? And then you'd be like, right, I'll start getting ready for not bed, but make sure all your school stuff's together.
Have
And
your
then you'd
bath,
have
your weekly
yeah,
bath.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then you'd be like, I'm sure Stu Allen came on about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you get about an hour and a half, and then I'd just be taping it, and then that'd be me week's music on my Walkman. Just listening to all this, like, because it wasn't just happy hardcore then. It was like you just more piano, rave and everything like that. So it was really, really good. Honestly, I still stand by it. Like that 90s sound of like the early 90s of rave and dance. That was it. But anyway, I'm not going to go
Well,
down
we
that
do have
rabbit
one
hole.
more
I want
album
to
to talk
listen to.
about, and
Yes,
that is
let's.
Now That's What I Call Music, number 5, which was
So
released
I'm
on the
looking
5th of
at this
August.
now. Oh,
And
right, okay.
it's some good stuff on there, to be fair. It's a good mix.
Okay, right. Well, right. We're just gonna say, I know you've done this before, but I'm gonna go through them, right? And then we're gonna do
Okay.
hit or shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so View to a Kill, Duran Duran.
Oh, hit.
Hits, definitely.
Yeah.
The Word Girl by Scritti Politti. Don't even know this
Well, I
one.
don't know this one, so I'm not going to judge it
Yeah, okay, all right. So that's our third option. Axel
yeah.
F. Harold Faltermeyer. Hit.
This version of hit, the Crazy
Yes,
Frog version, shit.
is shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Johnny Come Home, Fang Young Cannibals, which I
Hit.
think is a hit. I love
Hit.
that song.
Absolutely hit. Yeah. So good.
In Too Deep, Dead or Alive. I don't
I think
know it.
shit. No, it's not good. It's not good. It's
Icing on the
more.
Cake. Oh, sorry, go on. It's
I was
more
going to
what?
say Into
Slow.
Deep is more slow. It's not. It's not like their other stuff, which is fun. It's not a fun
Yeah.
song. I don't like it.
No. You need fun with someone like Dead
Yeah.
or Alive. Icing on the Cake, Stephen Tintin Duffy. I don't know
Never
it.
heard of him nor
I have
the
heard
cake
of
that
him,
he is
but
icing. Um,
Cherish, Cool and the Gang. Shit,
hit.
not my sort of thing.
Oh, I love it.
Hit. Every time you go away,
Hit.
Paul Young.
Hit.
That's good. Hit,
Every day a
definitely. I
hit.
think that's
Yeah.
good. Kaylee Marillion. Hit.
Hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Slave
Yeah.
to Love, Brian Ferry,
Hit.
which had also hit.
Absolute
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yes. Now, I don't know this one. This is not America. David Bowie and the Metheny group.
I don't know this one either. And I'm a
I don't know
Bowie
this.
fan. I'm a
I
Bowie
know.
stan. And
I
yeah, I
don't know
don't know
that.
this. Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't think you can say anything by Bowie is shit. So, but we'll say don't know.
We'll see. Don't know. Yeah.
Don't You Forget About Me, Simple
I
Minds.
won't
Hit.
ever. Oh, sorry. Yep. That's a hit. Yep.
Yes. Get It On, Bangagong, Power Station. I'm going to say
Never heard
hit,
of
even
it.
though it's a cover. Power Station is Robert Plant and also Andy Taylor from Duran Duran.
Oh.
So Get It On, Bangagong is a cover version of T-Rex.
Oh, is that the cover version of the Get It On by? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Get it
Yeah.
on, Bangagong, keep it on. Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really good. Yeah, Power Station were basically, they were just getting their rock on that Duran Duran didn't have, because obviously when Duran Duran around this time sort of
Yeah.
did a couple of side projects, a couple went on to Power Station and a couple on Samuel Le Bon and Nick Rhodes went on to Arcadia. which again had a couple of hits. But yeah, it's an album that I had Arcadia and had some Power Station as well. But there we
Nice.
go. Anyway, nerd knowledge of a Duran Duran fan. Next is Black Man Ray, China Crisis. Don't know
I
it.
don't
I'm
know
not
it.
mad on China
Yeah.
Crisis. One More Night, Phil Collins hit. This is
Hits,
when Phil
but I can
Collins was
never
good.
listen to it again.
Okay.
As I've said before on this
We've
podcast.
said we've talked about this one before. Frankie's Sister Sledge. We're saying
Hit.
hit.
I don't
Yes.
care what Simon Croson says. I think it's a hit.
Look at that, even calling him out.
Calling him out. Yeah.
um, History, My Tai. I don't know this.
I don't know this either.
Money's Too Tight to Mention, Simply Red. I like
I
this
think
one.
it's a hit. It's a good. So this is
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
liked Simply Red, before they
yeah.
did play
Doing you.
Fairground.
Yes, doing you.
Yeah.
Don't know this one. Feel So Real, Steve Arrington. Don't know it.
No, I don't know that one.
Round and Round, Round and Around even, Jackie Graham. Don't know it, so I
Don't
can't
know it.
do much. Turn It Up, Conway Brothers. Don't know it.
Don't know it.
Magic Touch, Loose Ends. Don't know
Don't
it.
know it.
Oh my god. No, 19 Not Out, The Commentators.
Oh,
I'll tell you what that is in a minute. It's
okay.
right. Basically, it's a piss take to 19, and this is basically sort of
Is that
like
something I didn't know
cricket
before?
sport commentate. Yes, yeah, that's when you didn't know before ages ago about Vietnam. So this
Yeah.
is just taking a piss out of 19. So it's basically done as sports commentary. It was a comedy
Ah,
record, and I use that very,
right.
very lightly. Next up, The Unforgettable Fire U2 hit because it was a
Yeah,
really,
it
really
is.
good keyboard bit.
Yeah.
Walls Tumbling Down, Style Council,
Hit.
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 Walking on Sunshine,
Absolutely.
Katrina,
Hit.
hit.
It's a great song, right?
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's cheese, but yeah, you need something like that. Put it this way, if it's on, you find yourself humming along or singing along or tapping your foot.
Yeah.
Um, Out in the Fields, Gary Moore and Phil Lynott hit because I do like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah, it's a great
very
song.
rocky. Shadow of Love the Damned, yep, hit because
It
I do
hit.
love that
Yeah.
one. They were in their goth phase. Life in One Day, Howard Jones. I've only known this song for about 2 years, but it's a good one of his. I think a
I don't
hit.
know
If you've not
the
heard it, if you
no.
try it, it's got a really good music video. And then finally, Love Don't Live Here Anymore, Jimmy Nail. I don't really
Shit.
know it, but yeah, I'm gonna say shit because
It is
I
shit.
only like
Ain't no doubt.
Christ. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. What a shame.
I think one more song. I think he did two decent ones. But yeah, that's it. Basically, for now 5, I'd say 2/3 of that is quite good. We just had a big run where
Because
we didn't
you
really
always
know
get a
any.
double cassette as well, right? So you're getting two
Oh yeah,
two good cassettes
yeah,
there.
30 songs there. For a tenner, yeah, you'd buy that definitely. The thing is,
Yeah.
nowadays, when it comes to compilations, it's still really only now. Um, Although now we are scraping the barrel where it's like now 1981 again. And then we look at things like now 1981 Extra, and then now 1981 The Vault, lesser known songs. And then it's
Yeah.
like The
Uh,
Vault Extra. And you're like, oh my God, you know,
it is
oh,
it is sad times when it comes to compilation music
I
these
know.
days. Even like
But
you
we're
don't even get
spoiled
the
for
movie
choice.
soundtracks anymore either.
You don't get many at all. We do get asked for them. Like, you get the. I'm just trying to think what we've had recently. Like, obviously, we have Wicked, but that's a bit cheating because it's
And that
basically.
new one, the K-pop Demon Hunters, which my girls absolutely adore.
Yes, yeah, well, that's out in a couple of weeks. 5th September. Boys and Girls. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
my kids love that. But anyway, I will let you take
Anyway,
over with
cool.
TV.
TV, so television on the 5th of August on ITV. A young Chris was introduced to the cartoon of a toy he'd already had for about a couple of years. No, about a year. I'd had a couple of Transformers given to me. So the cartoon started on the 5th of August. And obviously, this to me was an absolute revelation. Obviously, back then, toy TV series like this
Yeah.
and He-Man were literally just made to sell toys.
Oh,
They weren't
100%.
anything else. But it didn't stop me absolutely adoring the cartoon and the comics and buying every toy that I could of the Transformers. Obviously, now I've tried watching the older cartoons and they are hot garbage. But the movie is not, which we'll talk about next year in 1986.
Yes, yes.
Because that movie, it has no right to be as good as it is, considering it's just there to sell a new line of Transformer toys and kill off the old ones.
Yeah.
But
No,
it
no,
is such
that's
a great movie. But the cartoon, though, it did give us the excellent Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime, which we still have to this day. 40 years on, he is still Optimus Prime,
that's absolutely crazy, isn't it? You
isn't it?
know, could you imagine when he took that gig on, going, go on then, because he's done other voice work, you know, with I'm sure
Yeah.
he did not do Peter Venkman? I'm sure it may have been.
He was one of the
I'm
Ghostbusters,
sure he
wasn't
was,
he? But he
yeah,
was also
I'm sure he is.
he also was Venjar in Dungeons and
Dungeons
Dragons
and
as well.
Dragons. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
Transformers, I used to watch. I never got into the toys. I went down the mask route because I wasn't
well, I
really
like
getting that
Mask
many
as
toys
well.
back
I
then.
really like Mask as well. I thought
The
both of them were amazing.
well,
And obviously,
the
I had
thing
lots of
is,
crossover games with them. You know,
yeah.
years before the comics would do this, I was playing, Mask, and then when I get my Action Force or GI Joe,
Mhm.
again they would be crossing over into the worlds of Mask and Transformers, and but I never played a crossover with He-Man, which is weird,
No,
or
I know.
Thundercats. Like Thundercats and He-Man, I crossed over toys with them. But yeah, I
It's
never
the
did a
size of the figures,
crossover.
though. It's the size of the
Yeah,
figures.
I
You
think
know,
that's
like
it because He-Man was like the size of like Jazz of the Transformers. You're like,
yeah,
well, you're too
yeah.
big to be playing with these, He-Man. You go off and play with Lion-O and Panther.
You could
Yeah,
put the mask toys inside Transformers, but I was showing Theo some mask stuff because that's 40 years old this year for cartoons,
yeah. They're
and
releasing they're re-releasing the toys this year as well.
yeah, 110
I know.
pounds each.
I
Oh
so
yeah.
want to get Rhino.
I know, but it's just so fucking dear. But I
Yeah,
showed Theo some of the episodes. He goes, "Oh, I really like T-Bob," and I was like, "Ugh." I was like, I didn't even like T-Bob when I was your age. I found him irritating. And
my
then I was like, "You've got to watch to the end because then you're gonna get the moral." It's a case of like,
yeah.
"Oh, my ball's gone in the road. Watch out, Scott." It's like always look both ways when crossing the road. And
So
oh,
that was a
look under the dog in
legislation
case you get
thing
bit.
in America. So because the regulators realized that they were literally just like a 20-minute commercial,
Mm.
so they had to have you've done something right, a
Oh,
word
okay.
of thing. So every cartoon had to put like a thing on the end. So remember, He-Man, Adam would then tell us about something at the end of the episode and stuff like that, or Man at Arms or whatever. They would start talking to us, and so would Scott and T-Bob and his dad, Matt Tracker. Um,
Amazing. No,
yeah,
I didn't know that. I did not
yeah.
know that.
It was
There we
it was
go.
a legislation in America, so they had to do that. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Right,
Otherwise,
let's
they weren't
carry on.
allowed to do it. Yeah. So there was
Okay. Now,
another TV
I can't
show.
remember this next one. So
I
explain.
do. So it's a TV show called Call It. It was on the BBC Two on 30th of August, and it starred Phil Cool. Jasper Carrot was one of the writers, as well as in it as well, and Paul Alexander. So you had three people. It was like an impression show. So you'd had
Okay.
Phil Cool. He was the. Do you remember? Do you remember Phil Cool?
I do remember Phil Cool. He had like a bit of a
He ca-
rubbery face.
he did. I was about to say he looked like
Cool.
a real life spitting image
Yes.
puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah.
was
Yeah.
popular. Back in
But
the
yeah,
day.
he would do, because this is where I learned to do impressions from this show. Because I'd
Right.
watch how he used his mouth to do the impressions.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
his face
Especially
was
with
so
the black.
rubbery. Because when other people did it, so say like Rory Bremner does it or something, or Steve Coogan, you can't really tell how they do it because their mouths don't
Mm,
they don't move the way that Phil Calls did because it was so rubbery. So I was learning how to use my tongue and things like that to do impressions. So
yeah.
I can't do them now, but I remember watching his Neil Kinnock because I was a big Labour fan
Yeah.
even as a young child. And I was doing Neil Kinnock impressions and stuff at school and things, and people were like, "Who the hell's that?" And like Rick Mail, learning how to do his, not from Rick Mail, but learning him from Phil Cool,
Mm,
because it's just easier when you see someone else doing the impersonation. You go, "Oh right, I can see how they enunciate things and things like that." It's really cool, and that's why I remember this show, because it taught me how to do impressions. Um, Yeah, and I
He's
could.
local. He's local as well. He's only from Charlie, which is about 2 miles away from Reebok Stadium, where Bolton play.
uh,
You know,
but yeah,
oh, tough sheet.
this ran for 3 series,
Yeah, just
and had a
looking.
Christmas special as well.
I might watch some clips of that because
Yeah,
it's one of those names which is a blast from the past. He's 77 now, but he retired in 2013. It says, but for anyone our age, they will remember the name. You know,
mm,
of Phil Cool,
yeah.
definitely.
I didn't remember this at all until I was researching this episode, and then as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Cool it." I was like, "Oh wait, is that Phil Cole?" And then looked, and I was like, "Oh my god, it is." And I was like, "I remember this. I learned how to do impressions because of this." Yeah, it was great. I was like, oh my god, I remember this one. But yeah, that's the only two television shows that premiered this month. But we do have two video games, Paul, to talk about. Two games I
Two.
played probably at the time,
Right,
if you can
okay.
Adam and or Eve that. So
Two
the first
games in
one,
the 80s.
yeah, first one, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. It's a video game, obviously, but it's a like an adventure game type thing, but lots of mini games as well. So you are in Liverpool,
Right,
and you've got to search for the Pleasure Dome.
right, okay.
So you've
See,
got to
I've never
find,
played this. I've seen the adverts when I go through my magazines, and I just go, "How the hell do you make a game on this?" And you're going to tell me now. So you got to
yeah.
find.
So you are
Sorry.
literally like a shadow character, right? You don't have
Right.
like you are literally just like a black figure, like no characteristics or anything, but your goal is to complete these mini games and these like puzzly adventure type things to become a person, so that when you get to the Pleasure Dome you're a real person. And it's not shit. I know it sounds it, but it's not bad. This game even got 97% in Zap.
Um, it just doesn't appeal to me. Even
But it's
maybe if I
really
watch
good.
what's it
So,
called? Yeah, like a playthrough maybe.
well, on your Sinclair, it only got 71 in their top 100 games, but the ZX Spectrum version that I played at the time wasn't as good as the C64 version. C64 version looked really good, had really great music and everything. So Commodore, like the Commodore 64 magazines, rated it like either first or in the top 5 for the year.
I just
So
yeah,
that's
because
impressive.
again, though, it's an
It's
ocean tie-in as well, but
yeah,
I just don't know what it is.
but it's actually it's a really really cool game. But yeah, my partner's got a C64 Mini, so I might try and put it on because I completely forgot
Put it
about this
on
game.
there.
And then I was like, oh my god, that was actually really good, because my dad obviously he was massively into music, and we had a ZX Spectrum, so he saw that, we bought it. He also bought a magazine which had one of those
Yeah, the
soft
flexi discs. It's a flexi
flexi
disc.
discs,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
had the Thompson twins, Doctor on the flexi disc, and on the other side, when you turned it over, you could record the Thompson twins adventure game off of it onto the
Okay.
ZX Spectrum.
What magazine? Which magazine was this? Can we
I can't
remember?
remember
Because I'm
which one
probably.
it was.
Do you know
Mate,
what?
it's 40 years ago.
I'm going to. No, no, I know, but I'm going to mention this. I think for the next cover disc, cover mount classic in Pixel Addict, because I'm like
I'm sure
going.
you can find it online, like
Oh
find
yeah,
out where it
yeah,
was
yeah,
online.
yeah,
But
yeah. Sorry,
yeah, I
but yeah,
remember getting this,
blast
and
the
yeah,
past.
and so my dad and I, he would buy stuff if he saw music or Samantha Fox or something, and I would buy games because I like to look at the covers, or I would just copy them off my friends. Um, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the game. I think it was an absolutely banging tie-in game, a really good licensed game, and it had
Yeah,
no right to be good. Like, it's a tie-in game about a freaking band. Right?
which just
I
sounds
mean,
mad, doesn't it?
it does,
You know.
but it's really good. It's not like Spice World, where it's like an absolute piece of shit video game.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Oh no, of
um,
course.
which doesn't even have full songs to dance to. I mean, what a load of shite. But yeah, another game which I think is absolutely brilliant as well came out, and that's Frank Bruno's Boxing. But
See,
Frank
I'm
Bruno,
not
I
even
played it.
aware of this.
So I played this, but I played it on the ZX Spectrum, so it was called Frank Bruno's World Championship Boxing. Now, as a kid, I assumed that this was just a port of Super Punch Out from the arcade, because I'd played Super Punch Out in the arcade and I loved it. And I just thought, oh, cool, they've done a port and they've put Frank Bruno in it. And as it goes, it's actually a licensed Punch Out game, but they've stuck Frank Bruno in it from Elite Systems. And
Yeah,
it is
that's
literally
quite surprising.
Super Punch Out from the arcade. They've
Yeah,
changed the
on like
name
your
of the
home
boxes.
computers.
Yeah. So you've, instead of the wireframe character that you get in Super Punch Out in the arcade, you get Frank Bruno. And you still get all of the characters that you fight in Super Punch Out, but they're renamed. So, for example, Bear Hugger is called Canadian Crusher.
Right, okay.
You've got Dragon Chan, and he becomes Fling Long Chop. That's kind of racist.
Yes, yeah.
Vodka
It was 1985.
it was. You got Vodka Drasinski from Super Punch Out, and
Russia.
he is yeah, from Russia. But he is called Andrei Poncharovodov. Yeah, so there's an
Okay.
example of some of the people that they put in the game. But yeah, it is literally, it is part of the Punch Out series.
That's mad,
So
that. I had
isn't
no
it absolutely
idea.
insane? Yeah, it's a licensed game. Elite Systems licensed it and made a Frank Bruno version of it. So while the
Wow.
Americans were enjoying Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the NES, we were playing Frank Bruno's Boxing, or Frank Bruno's World Championship Boxing, on the ZX Spectrum. Don't know why it got a different name on the Spectrum, but yeah. How
Yeah,
mad's that?
no, but
But it's
it's
good.
not bad
It's
though as
so
well.
good because it is just
Getting
Super Punch
Bruno's
Out.
name. Yeah, and
Yeah,
getting Frank Bruno's name on it. I suppose though, from a Super Punch Out, it was Mike Tyson, wasn't it? So, we've
yeah,
gone down that route of getting still a big name, but yeah, I had no idea at all.
yeah.
That was even out on the home console, home computers, should say.
So
You
yeah,
know,
it's not a shit game again. So we have two absolutely banging 8-bit home computer games this month
that's
that
not
I
bad.
would thoroughly recommend playing, even in 2025. They're both fantastic. Because I watched a video of Frankie Goes to Hollywood today, just to refresh my memory of it. But I watched the Commodore 64 version just to see, because I didn't play that one, and I was like, oh man, this looks so much better, and the sound is amazing. So yeah, I was totally in love with it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to download that and play that, because that's really, really good.
Excellent.
So yeah, so
Excellent.
let's move on to
I
the
might, I
news.
might, you know what? I'm gonna have a look at that one because even though I'm awful at Punch Out, to have that on 8-bit computers, home computers, is actually quite cool. So
Yeah,
yeah, the
definitely go
news,
for the Commodore 64 version though.
the news.
The news. So on the 13th of August, we only have two bits of news, and they're both on the same day. The first UK heart-lung transplant is carried out at the Harefield Hospital in Middlesex. The patient is a
Wow.
3-year-old called Jamie Gavin. But the first
Oh
heart
wow.
and lung transplant. So yeah, fair play to him. The Sinclair C5, which we did speak about in February. Well, January, yeah, it's February, that launched. It ceases production, less than 7 months and less than 17,000 units sold.
Hmm.
So yeah, Sinclair's little car thing did not go down well, but is absolutely
Yeah.
beloved, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
people
Oh
still.
no, I know. Well, I went to what's it called last year, Revival, and this was over at, oh, was it Wolves football? Well, Walsall's football ground, I think it was Walsall Wolves, one of the two. Oh, Wolverhampton Race Course ground, and they had a C5 meetup with quite a few owners, and yeah, they were all just racing around a racetrack. It's I have been in one now as well, something like 10 years
Yeah, I
ago. I'd
have
never
as
done
well.
before. It's yeah. I think when we, God, I tell you what made me laugh. I was going over to the Northwest Computer Museum, which is only about 5 minutes from where I, and you saw someone using one of these on the road, And then obviously all the traffic was slowing down and backed up, and then I saw obviously this C5 turning into the street, the road where the computer museum is. And I said to Theo, I went, right, I'm going to show you why we were going slow in a minute. And then there's pictures of Theo in it as well. He absolutely loved it. It's
Nice.
he
Yeah.
didn't go in a motorized one. He went on a pedal because some people have got pedal ones.
You see,
So,
I've been in
you
a
know,
motorized one. It
no,
was cool.
same. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, but
Cool.
yeah, it's one of them where you go, yeah.
Yeah, I can see why it failed and why you had to sell to Amstrad.
Yes,
Sorry, Sir Clive. May you rest in
there we
peace.
go.
So we'll have a quick break and then we'll come back in the year 1995.
I'm still quite junior, so I do a bit of everything, which includes keeping the cash machine loaded. No, it's easy. A bit like a photocopier, except the paper's more expensive. And I'll make sure I put plenty in. Because Saturday night I'll be on the other side of the wall. Funny thing is, when I was at college, I hated going into the bank. Suppose we all did. So the hole in the wall was a bit of a lifeline. Well, it still is. Of course we do. It's not all work, work, work.
Hello, welcome back to the year 1995. Paul, what are you wearing in 1995?
I am wearing around this time a double denim Prodigy t-shirt or Megadeth t-shirt with, at this point, my hair, which I just had permed and got twatted and laughed at school so much around this
Good.
time.
Good.
Good times, good times. But yeah, summer 95, just heading into year 11 at high school.
Same here.
So we've
yeah.
got some really good moments coming up. I mean, I know I'm getting a month or two in advance, but we've got Second Oasis album to come. We've obviously got, building towards basically what I class as one of the peak eras for me, of a golden era, as I often call it to my mates Mariner and Greg. And then they say, you're always banging on about the golden era. 30 years ago. I went, but honestly, it was so special. Anyway.
It was.
It
1995 till 1999.
Ah,
The golden
good
years of my
times.
life. Yeah.
Golden years, I know.
Yeah.
Ah,
When I was a teenager. It's all gone downhill since then.
and life
Never
just
ever
seems
has
so
reached
fun.
the highs of those 4 years. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to movies that were released in August in 1995 here on this little island we call the United Kingdom, which also includes a little bit of another island as well.
Another island, yeah.
So we have first up the Hugh Grant rom-com, The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill But Came Down a Mountain. Obviously, Paul, you watched this at the time.
Oh yeah, love it. I love the struggle of coming down a mountain.
Well, it's where the Hugh Grant plays this guy who has to verify whether something is hill or a mountain. I can't remember the name.
Right. Okay. This sounds absolutely awful.
So he goes to this small place in Wales, I think it is. And is it Wales? Let me just make
I'm
sure
just
I'm
calling
getting
it
this
up
right.
now because
It is Wales.
English,
Yes. Yeah. He did go.
Oh my
I'm trying to doing this from memory.
almighty.
Watching this on video back in 1996, probably.
Oh.
I was with a girl. I had to watch what she wanted to watch, so we watched that. And yes,
I
so
tell you what, though, you're right. You were right with what you're saying.
it's
Oh
a
my
man,
god, it's
yeah.
absolutely
Told you. And
boring as
so
anything.
he falls in love with one of the locals, but he falls in love not just with her, but also the locals and the people. So they do everything they can to make it a mountain rather than it being classified as a hill, to really put them on the map.
Wow.
So it's a really lovely sort of movie. It's it's nice. You've also got Cole Meany in it as well.
Yeah, I've just seen there's a few people, and who was the other one? Ian McNeice, who
Yeah, and
was
Ian Hart as
in
well was in it.
yeah, he was in Thingy Ace Ventura. But yeah, there's a few people I recognise. Tara Fitzgerald is the love interest. Um, I'm just trying to think. I'm sure she's been in a lot of Blast Off. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I recognise her from. And
but yeah,
Sirens, another Hugh Grant
she
one
is in
there.
Sirens. Yeah, he's in that as well, isn't he? So
This is not the type of thing I'd watch. It sounds absolutely awful.
it's not though. It's
Next.
nice. It's a lovely movie. Anyway, next, right? We'll move on then. Jesus, all right. We'll move on to an even worse film then.
Are
Waterworld.
you not entertained? No. Oh, for fuck's
That's
sake.
Gladiator.
Uh,
So Waterworld
Waterworld.
is yeah, it's directed by Kevin Reynolds. It stars Kevin Costner and oh, why can't I think of his name? Dennis Hopper
Yeah, Dennis Hopper's a bad guy,
as the
yeah.
antagonist. So it's basically set in the future. The world has turned to water. Our ice caps have
Yes.
melted
Mhm.
due to the threat of imaginary global warming.
Yes.
Obviously, I don't think that I am actually on the side of science, not ignorance. And yeah, it's a terrible movie where petrol is at a premium and everyone needs to get it to keep their boats powered. Kind of like Mad Max on water, but crap.
Yeah, that's how it was
Um,
sold, really, wasn't it? I
yeah,
mean, it cost millions to make, but I know it's one of those now that's fallen into there's been extended editions, director's cuts, and everything where people have suggested looking back at it. But anytime I see Waterworld, I think of
oh, the video
The
game.
Simpsons joke, the video game where Milhouse puts a quarter in, he steps forward one step with Mel Gibson's character, and
What a
then that's
chip!
it, game
And then puts
over.
the
Yeah,
money back
what
in.
a jip.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But there is actually a video game for Waterworld. Did you know
Oh
that?
yes, yes, I did.
Only on the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, and there was something else that was meant to be coming out
It
for
was going to come on the Saturn.
that was it. Ravi from Retro Hour, I think it was, spoke to someone about it, saying, there was it was like underway, and it sounded all right, but I don't know.
Tom and I did speak briefly about it on the Saturn podcast.
Could have been that actually, but yeah, I know it's
But yeah,
been mentioned recently. Was there no SNES version?
no,
No.
Virtual
Oh
Boy.
well.
Yeah.
Virtual Boy, right? No, it's not. It's not something. Even now, I tried to watch it once about 20 years ago, but not my bag, baby.
Did you watch The Postman?
No, I worked
Good.
in a video off license when that came out, and it was on for about 3.5 hours, and quite a few people rented it out, bought it back the next day, and went, "Oh, that was shit." So I went,
Yeah.
"I'm not going to waste my time then. I'm going to watch this Double Team Van Damme film that came out roughly the same time to rent."
Yeah.
With Dennis Rodman and
Dennis
Van Damme.
Rodman. Yeah. Yeah. What a
Yes,
terrible movie that is.
I
But
still think
probably
it's
better
better
than The
than
Postman.
Postman. I
Yeah, it's
know.
definitely better than The Postman. But there, this movie was made for $235 million once marketing was included. And it did actually make 264. So it did make $29 million. Probably not the return they were hoping for.
No,
Should have
no.
made a better movie, is what I would say on that one. And speaking of better movies, what better
Dun, dun,
movie is
dun.
there than The Usual Suspects?
A very good one, but one I've only ever watched once because
What?
I've only ever watched it once. I've only ever watched it once, and that must have been about 99, 2000. Because I watched it with
Blimey.
my
I went to the cinema to
ex-wife.
watch this.
No, I didn't. I didn't see this straight away. It's one of those I watch when you got like the Total Film magazine's top 50 films you must watch.
Yeah.
And this was always like high up. So I remember going through a bit of a movie snob. Oh, I'm going to watch all the Total Film top 25 films, and
Well,
yeah, it just took me ages.
I went to the cinema because I saw a trailer for it and I thought that looks fantastic. I was really into movies at the time, so I was a bit of a movie snob, even though I did watch An Englishman Who Went Up a Hill and Came Down the Mountain, and Waterworld. But I did watch Usual Suspects in the cinema, and I couldn't believe how good it was. I was like, oh my god, that was amazing. How is he Kaiser Soze all along?
I know, but it's it's almost like the thing of a Simpsons joke there, isn't it? You know,
Mhm.
he was Luke Skywalker's father. No, but anything with Kevin Spacey, yeah,
But this is the thing.
not
This
really
has
fans
got
upon that.
two very
But he's
problematic people
I
attached
know,
to
but he
this.
was one of my favorite. He was one of my favorite actors.
I know,
Oh
I
God,
know, I
yeah, the
know. I liked
director
him
as
too,
well,
but
isn't
you've
it?
also
Bryan
got Brian
Singer.
Singer. Yeah, so you've got two absolute
Oh
wrong uns in this. But then you've got
God,
Benicio del Toro, who's unbelievably good in this,
yeah,
and Chaz
yeah.
Palminteri as the cop who's interviewing Kevin Spacey.
That's someone who never gets mentioned anymore.
He was so good in the 90s.
Yeah, this is what we were on about before. When we were meant to record the other night, but we just had a quick chat instead. Peek behind the curtain. That's what we were like.
Yeah,
Do you remember such an actor? Do you remember such an actor? Oh God, yeah, that's someone you don't mention. You know,
yeah.
and when we
And like Pete Postlethwaite. Pete Postlethwaite was an amazing
yeah, I
actor.
mean,
Like
he
one of
obviously
our
he
best.
carried on working. Oh, for
Yeah,
sure, he was absolutely fantastic. You
yeah.
know, but yeah, it's something that I feel watch again at some point. I think it's more likely to be like when Theo's older, going right. You need to watch the film. It's like with things like Sixth
Well, I'm
Sense.
currently
Once you
doing
know the
that with
twist.
my
Yeah,
I'm doing that currently with my 13-year-old, going through 90s movies with him.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So
Some good
we
ones.
will
Good
get to the
ones.
usual suspects. Obviously, the usual suspects. Then let's to people who haven't seen it. I have spoiled the ending. I apologise for that massively. I am an absolute wrong and not on the levels of Bryan Singer or Kevin Spacey, but a wrong un.
But worse.
Um, but
Worse.
yes, so this film also stars Stephen Baldwin, Gabrielle Byrne, like we said, Benicio del Toro, Kevin Pollak, Chaz Palminteri, Pete Postlethwaite, and of course Kevin Spacey. But it basically it's an interrogation by Chaz Palminteri and another cop. They are interviewing Kevin Spacey about a heist. Well, it is a heist, isn't it? Really? That's gone awry. Um,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
basically he goes through how they got set up together, how they were all being manipulated by this guy called Kaiser Soze. And yeah, it's a fantastic tale with some of the best acting from the cast, like you'll see from them.
No,
They
it's because
Stephen Baldwin
it's a
never did
character piece.
anything like
It's a
this.
character piece.
Yeah,
Right, this is a type of film where, again, it doesn't even have to be a film. It can be like a play, and like you've obviously got your couple of big names, but then everyone who's a supporting actor is still really good. Now, films like this don't come along very often, where
no,
even the bit part players are, like you say, the C-list actors, because it's like so tense. Like, and you're just going, oh God, what is going on? And you're just glued to the screen. Everyone's levels, higher than what they usually would be, because you wouldn't really go, oh look at this, it's a Stephen Baldwin film. Let's rent that out. Or again, Gabriel Byrne was obviously known, and obviously, mind you, Kevin Spacey wasn't that well known at the time. Obviously, Seven was the same year, I think. I'm sure that was 1995.
yeah,
Was it? Maybe,
it
yeah.
was. Yeah,
And then you also have Thingy as well. I'd only really seen him in working. But yeah, it's just one of those where everyone everyone puts in a good performance. But yeah, highly
yeah,
recommended this
they
one.
do.
Well
The
recommended.
performances are absolutely incredible. But yeah, it's one of those films that I think the more you watch it, the more you see. So because you go through there's a bit where Kevin Spacey talks about how Kaiser Soze didn't just like he didn't kill the person who had wronged him. He killed their entire family and left them alive.
Yeah.
And but then you don't realize the impact of that until the end. And so when you watch it another time, and you know that he's Kaiser Soze, you're there going, "Oh my God, evil fucker!" And he's just telling the police what he's done,
Yeah.
and they have no
Yeah.
idea that it's him. Yeah, it does get better with repeated viewings. This movie, it really does.
Okay.
Um,
That might be one to
so
try again then.
Yeah, it is. It's just like I say, it's problematic these days, you know. But it was such a cheap movie to make $6 million and made 67 million. So that sort of money can make you be a real wrong 'un. Speaking of wrong uns, the next movie that came out was a movie called Spanking the Monkey.
Never heard of this. So I'm just gonna have a
You've
quick
never
look.
heard of this?
No.
Wow, I
No.
still feel wrong knowing I've watched it. So this movie stars Jeremy Davies, who is going home to look after his mum after his mum's had a broken leg, I think it is, if I remember correctly. And he's quite young. He's like probably at college age, you know,
Okay.
like 19, 20, something like that. And he's trying to every time he tries to masturbate, the family
Right.
dog keeps interrupting him.
Uh,
So
oh,
he's getting
okay.
more and more sexually frustrated that he then finds himself drawn to his mother.
Oh God.
And it gets reciprocated, and it gets very dark,
Oh,
and
Jesus Christ.
yeah, yeah. And the movie is obviously called Spanking the Monkey. He was trying to whack
Jesus
one off multiple
Christ.
times and could not. But let's not talk about it anymore. But yes, that movie did come out first of 1995. I have watched it because it was given really good reviews in Total Film. So I
Oh
watched it,
my God.
and then
No,
I
no,
watched
I've
it, and I
never seen
felt
that.
I felt sick as a dog after watching
No,
it. I was like, nope.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
So lastly,
Lastly, Die Hard with a Vengeance,
which is good and was on
which
TV
is,
again the other night.
I would
Um,
say, the second best of the movies. You're going
Yeah,
to say Die
yeah,
Hard 2, aren't you? No? Yeah.
no, because
Good.
no, it's one, then
Die
three,
Hard 2 is more of
then
a
two,
repeat
then
of the
four,
first
then
one, really.
five.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, in an airport. But no, number three is brilliant. I mean, the idea of having Simon Says and
Yeah.
also the tension of this bomb, but they're being played with, at times where it's like, oh no, it's just like, oh my God, we've got to get to a phone box, like the literal, it doesn't stop. There's like so much, because I know I'm jumping around a lot, but when I flicked over to it the other night, it was like the last 25 minutes, John McClane's tied up on a boat, finding out all about the thing like that, and this
Yeah.
time, he's telling the main bad guy, I killed your brother, because it's Hans Gruber's brother, um, in this
And
one, played
he didn't like him
played
anyway.
by fucking hell name.
Jeremy
The
Irons.
actor. Yes, Jeremy Irons. But yeah, because he didn't like him. He goes, "Hey, like your brother was an arsehole." He goes, "Haha, yes, he was,"
He
and then they
was,
just
yeah.
laugh about it. But yeah, it's really good,
But it
and
also
obviously
stars Samuel Jackson as like
who gets
his
dragged into it,
unwilling,
doesn't it?
yeah, unwilling
Yes,
partner. As because at the beginning of the movie he has to go into Harlem wearing a sign that was very racially
yes, saying
charged.
I hate N word,
Yeah,
and yeah, it was like, oh my God, I can't remember if that's being edited now in
I would
on
hope
Disney
so,
Plus or
because it
anything.
doesn't need to be like
Well, it's
that. Yeah,
just because I remember watching this at the cinema, so I was just old enough legally to watch it, and I was going out with a girl in Glasgow, so I'd gone up there for the weekend. I've met her in Spain on holiday, and we're like, oh, we'll go to the cinema and
I thought
watch
you were going
Die
to start
Hard
doing
with
like a
her.
Pulp song there.
Yeah, I know. Met her in Spain, and then we're watching Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, so amazingly, it was a good film, luckily. So focus on the film and not cinematic heavy petting sounding as partridge as it can be there. Um, but yeah, it's yeah, it's a good film. Yeah.
It's a fantastic film. It whips along as well at a hell of a pace.
Oh
Whereas
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel the original Die Hard does sag a little bit, right?
The original Die Hard has got enough big moments, but I know what you mean. It does slow down. That
Yeah,
it slows down a little bit when there's like, obviously, is when he's getting to know Al, and then they're trying to
yeah.
work out who is stopping, the bad guy's plan. Whereas in number three, because it's well, it's called Die Hard with a Vengeance, so it's a case of boom, everything's just dialed up to 11. and it, like
Yeah.
you say, it goes at a very fast pace because it's missions, it's games, and
Yeah.
even the computer game that Die Hard trilogy on PS1, that's the racing one where you're driving around in the taxi and
Yeah.
everything. And yeah, I think it's really really good. I really
Oh, I
really
love it.
do.
I love this
Mm.
movie. I went to see this one in the cinema as well. And
The good thing
yeah,
is,
came
it's
away
still human.
loving it.
John McClane is still human because this is what we
Yeah.
talked about the other night, actually. Because the thing is, when they came back with Die Hard 4, they made him a superhero. Well,
Yeah.
even though he's
Where he
human,
drives
he was
a
a
car
superhero.
into a
Yeah, crap like
helicopter
that.
and yeah.
Yeah, and still gets out and stuff. But then, like, with 1, 2, and 3, he's
Oh,
just a
he's a
human
broken
cop.
man. Like during he
Oh
gets
yeah,
absolutely ripped to
yeah.
pieces, and he's still going, because yeah. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think Samuel Jackson was absolutely incredible in this as well. He was coming off of Pulp Fiction at this point, so
Yeah,
his
yeah.
stock was high. Obviously, the second time he'd been in a movie with Bruce Willis,
Oh
and
yeah, with
yeah,
last no, not Last Boy Scout. What
he
would
was
it be,
in
Last
Pulp
Boy
Fiction.
Scout? Oh God, of
He
course.
wasn't. Yeah,
Oh God, yeah, of course.
yeah.
Oh, me being dozy there.
Last
Yeah,
Boy Scout
I
was
really,
Damon
really.
Wayans.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
I
not
just
trying to
looked you up
say,
as a racist.
yeah, I know, God damn it. I know, where's that spade? No,
Yeah.
because I know, right, in my defense, Samuel L. Jackson's been a bit part player in a lot of films. For
Oh yeah,
example, he was
Coming
in,
to America,
yeah, but he was also in, I'm sure he was in
Jurassic
True
Park.
Romance. I'm
He
sure
was
he's
in
in
True
True
Romance.
Romance.
Yes, he is in True Romance. Yeah.
Because, like, there's a bit, like, with Drexel, because I was watching that recently as well. Ooh, not bad. Quite
True Romance is.
surprising.
Have you not seen that before?
True amounts. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
Loads.
okay.
Absolutely love that one. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. I thought that was the first time you saw it. At least, and I was like, oh my
No,
god,
no, God, no. Absolutely love it. It ain't no
that's
white boy
my.
day, is it?
That was when I realised James Gandolfini was probably one of the greatest character actors other than Gene Hackman.
Yeah. Oh, it's. Oh God, he's such a sleazeball in that.
He's so good in that though, but in,
In
in a
that
way that you're
film.
like, I can't wait for you to get your comeuppance.
I know. Oh God. Oh man. I love that film, but like you say, it's just like,
Yeah.
stab me with a corkscrew, and it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, brilliant.
So good.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about
Anyway,
Gene
let's move on
Hackman. Let's
to
go on. Yeah,
music.
let's move on.
So
Music.
singles, we have two number ones this month, and the first one is "Never Forget" by Take That.
Said it all before. Moving on. Nice and
Yeah,
quick.
it's a karaoke favorite. Then we have "Country House" by Blur. I was always Team Blur, so I absolutely love Country House.
Well,
Um,
obviously, with you being Southern and me being Northern, despite us both being Arsenal fans, it was still roll with it. But we were on about this, me and mate Mariner. It was like the big rivalry that week, wasn't it? You had
yeah.
the enemy cover of Blur versus Oasis. You had the shops back, where there were plenty of music shops, really, really
Well,
pushing this battle
well,
or a
the thing as
war,
well,
really.
this is the first time I ever gave a shit about a song being number one. Right.
Mm.
This is the first time I actually genuinely was like, I do not want Oasis to be number one. I want my Southerners to be number one. It was very much the media whipped it up so much that it was very much North and South.
Yeah, for sure. It had the better. This had the better music video, because
Oh,
it's
fantastic
obviously
movie
with
video.
yeah, yeah. And you look at the comedians, and Keith Allen and Joe Guest in there, and
Yeah.
George Dawes, and well, Matt Lucas should say,
Yeah.
give him his real
Give him his
name.
real name. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but no, it's still good. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. It's just it's from a very very happy time, really. Despite not enjoying school at this. Musically, brilliant. Which then leads on to the next things with albums, which
Albums. So we have I Should Coco by Supergrass, which is an absolutely incredible album.
yes. Now I've mentioned this before because back in May when I was doing work experience, this came out, but this has taken a while to get to the top. But then again, all it
But then
takes is stuff like All Right or
it
something.
was All Right, which came out in July, right, as a single.
Ah, right, yeah, yeah.
So obviously we'd already had singles prior to this. Caught
Mm.
by the Fuzz, which was the previous year.
Wow, okay.
That was their debut single, wasn't it? like that
Yeah,
their
that
first
fit
single.
in something
Yeah,
which is quite upbeat and everything. But yeah, All Right was massive. And this album, I still listen to it now, and it's one of your, I think, 35, 40 minutes. It fits onto one side of a cassette. But yeah,
yeah,
I still think it's brilliant. I
it's
really do.
fantastic.
Supergrass back then were good. We've had a few good songs since, but back at 90s Supergrass, first couple of albums cracking.
Yeah, was it
You know.
Money in it for?
Um, yeah, In It for Money, second one, and then they
That's
did
the
the
one
one with
with Pumping on Your
Rich.
Stereo, isn't it?
No, the third one had
Is that on
Pumping
the
on Your
third
Stereo.
one?
Yeah, with Richard the Third. No, or was that the second?
Oh, yeah. No, was it?
Uh
Hold on. I'm
no.
gonna have to look it up
Well,
now.
the third album
No,
came out
Richard
in
the
about
Third. Yeah, Richard the
1999.
Third's on the
The
second
third
album.
album. Oh, second
Second.
album. Right. So
Yeah.
Pumping on Your Stereo must have been on the
It's
third
been on
album in
Supergrass,
'99
which is the self-titled
because
album. Yeah.
that came
With
out in
Moving,
'99.
which is my
Yes,
favorite song of theirs.
which was played a lot in East for some reason.
Yeah.
Because I worked at Virgin Cinema when that came out, and because we had the Virgin Cinema TV, it'd show movie trailers, but also new music videos because we had a shop selling CDs as well as cinema snacks and toys.
Well, just to give you a bit of thing about this, so the critical response for this album was absolutely huge.
Mm,
So it got mostly 5 stars everywhere, A's, 9s out of 10. Yeah, huge. But it also sold an incredible amount. It sold over 500,000 copies domestically alone. And that's a
that's
lot of
insane.
that's a lot of albums in the UK. That means
But then
you get a
again,
platinum record.
we're saying though at this time you had for magazines. Well, you still didn't get anything new on TV, although you did have things like MTV and VH1. Some people were starting to get Sky or cable, but then you still had Enemy, Melody Maker. You still had smash hits that covered little bits of music like this. You had Select, you had Mojo, you had Vox, you had
Yeah,
so many magazines. And obviously, remember, this is like the whole Britpop indie explosion, and it was huge. Honestly,
yeah.
I absolutely love this time, you know.
Me too, Paul. Me
Um,
too.
yeah.
I wish I could relive 1995 to 2000 all over again. Like,
I just want to go back, right? I want to go back to, and I'll maybe it's quick. I was away for fucking ever. Just 1 week in each year, and you can choose the week. So they go right.
me,
Okay,
I'll
so it's
choose the
like a
week for you.
magic. No, not you, but
Okay.
basically, for example, you go right. Well, you go. Oh, I want to go back to experience a week of 1996. I want to go back and experience, but the age you are now. So you've got money in
I
your
don't want to go
pocket
back the
and
age I am
stuff.
now
Oh
because there
no,
are
you
some
have
things I
to.
want to do again that would be illegal to do or
Ah,
frowned upon.
well, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, let's keep this clean. No, but I would be going. Well, do you know what I'm going to do now? The Prodigy in a smaller gig. I'm going to go and watch, you know, uh, England, Holland in the pub
So
rather than just watching
I
at home and stuff.
saw the Prodigy at a place in Cambridge. Oh God, what was it called? This would have been 95. No, 94. No,
Yeah,
95. It would have been 95. No,
it
94.
may be '94 because
It was
they were
probably
doing
94
tours
because they.
around then.
It was 94 because I was only 15
I
and
know.
I
I
got
was
in
I was
into a
not
pub
old
because it
enough.
was like a pub thing. But God, what was the name of it? I can't remember. But I've seen so many bands there over the years before they really broke out. Except the Prodigy had already broken. I knew who they were.
Oh
Whereas I
yeah,
saw other
yeah.
bands I didn't know who they were. Um, oh God, I can't remember the name of it now. It's going to
Well,
annoy me for the rest of my life.
I
Maybe not the rest of my life, just the
hang
rest of
on.
tonight.
Well,
Unless
no,
tonight is
no.
the rest of
I
my
tell you
life.
what,
Oh
no, no,
God,
no.
that's
Where
dark,
you've
isn't it?
got in 1994, you've got Prodigy at the Cambridge Corn Exchange, and that's about
That
it.
would have
In
been where I watched it
1994
then.
and
I thought I watched them at a
1996.
pub. Oh,
Well,
maybe I
no,
went to the
that
Corn
was it.
Exchange then.
Prodigy came that was November the 3rd, 1994, because two
Yeah,
days after they played in Manchester Academy, but I was too young to go, and I thought I can't go on my own, so I had to wait until 1996 to them.
So I must have watched them at the Corn Exchange then. I thought I watched
Yeah.
them in a much smaller venue. Oh, okay.
No,
But yeah, I
but
do
again,
remember going to watch them in '94. Yeah, yeah, it was good.
yeah,
I just remember thinking, life will never get better.
they
Um,
played that venue quite a lot. They've played, oh my God, somewhere called the Super Tent, um, and then a place called Cherry Hinton
Cherry
Hall
Hinton
Grounds in,
Hall.
yeah, that was in
Yeah, I've seen
1992.
them.
And
Oh
then
my
Cambridge
god!
Corn Exchange in 92, Cambridge Corn Exchange again in 92, Cambridge Corn Exchange in 94, Cambridge Corn Exchange for the last time in 96, and then
I
that was
think
it.
I went to that one in '96
I did the
because
Manchester
that
one in
was
96, that one.
because that was after Fat of the Land, wasn't it? So
No, well, it was before Fat of the Land came out. It was starting to build up to that. So they were still
yeah, but they
playing.
did play some of
They
the
were
Fat of the
doing.
Land
Oh
stuff on
yeah.
there.
They play.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure.
Because
Yeah,
Brief were just coming out. It was called the Brief Tour.
yeah, because I
And
do
looking
remember
at
them
it
playing
now,
Fat
it's
of the Land
great.
music, the
Oh
tracks
yeah,
from
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, you've
um,
got Smack My Bitch up there. You've also
yeah.
got Funky
Oh
Shit.
my god, that
You've
was the
got
thing, right? When I saw
Minefields.
seeing "Smack My Bitch Up" for the first, like, hearing it for the first time, seeing it for the first time, and that bass drop on what is it,
Yeah,
42 seconds, I think it is.
it's
And
just it's
that bass drop live, I've never had the hairs on the back of my neck
yeah,
stand up
yeah.
again the way they did then.
Well, like I say, we still play it
Unbelievable.
when I went watching them
I know, but it's
in
not the
December
same as
last
the
year.
first
Oh no,
time
no,
that you see it.
it's not,
Yeah,
no chance, no chance.
yeah.
Although with that Smack My Bitch Up because it was at Christmas time, they put sleigh bells over the intro. And I was
Oh,
like,
right.
this is really, really cool, and I fucking hate Christmas. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
What was the next
Supergrass,
album?
Supergrass were good. So it's
Sorry,
great
next
when you're
up.
straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not me
Black
saying yeah, it's
Grape.
great when you're straight. It's from Black Grape, the album title. Obviously, Black Grape was formed by Shaun Ryder after he broke the Happy Mondays. And yeah, this is a good album. Again,
Yeah,
another really
not
strong
bad.
album.
Yeah, yeah. I think because they've got the sort of like danciness still a little bit. Obviously, Bez was along with them
Bez
as
is
well.
still in there, so yeah,
They were on Top at Pops a lot as well. And they
they
have
were.
things like Reverend Black Grape and oh god, what was it called? Finger of the Father.
In the Name of the Father, which is
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And it was just the thing is, following on from Happy Monday is going to be a big, big ask. But they did
yeah.
have a few hits.
They did. They did.
The other
They weren't
stuff
as
I
big,
didn't really
obviously,
like.
as the Happy Mondays, but
No, but this album was good. And
this album was
again,
good. I didn't like the next album that they did. Was that stupid?
yeah, with the Gollywog on the cover.
Yeah, that was not a
Yeah,
good album at all.
no, no.
But
But
this album was really good.
in between, you had England's Irie for oh god, Euros '96 with Joe Strummer
Oh yeah,
and Keith Allen, and that
yeah,
album, that track is really, really good. But yeah, not bad. Anyway, let's
not
move
bad.
on. Otherwise, we'll have to
Yeah.
just take a detour
So
of
we'll move on to
politics.
television then for this month. We have no new shows,
Nothing. No new
nothing.
shows.
Video
Next,
games, nothing.
nothing.
Because everything was holding off because there was a big monolith on the horizon, and that was the PlayStation, which was going to launch in September. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So in news then, we have two items of news. 6 of pubs in England are permitted to remain open throughout Sunday afternoon for the first time.
Okay. I didn't even know
So
that
this
was
was
like a thing.
pubs used to close at lunchtime on a Sunday as soon as the Sunday lunch had finished. So 2
Oh,
p.m. as
like
soon as the
2 o'clock.
kitchen
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as the kitchen closed, that was it. They were closed.
Oh, they'd
But
reopen in the evening though for a little bit, wouldn't they? Maybe.
no, 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 no. They were completely closed on a Sunday. It
Really?
was only from 1995 they opened for the rest of the day, which wasn't a thing. So pubs were closed 2 o'clock on a Sunday. I was reading up on
No, no.
it.
Honest to God, I had no.
Yeah,
But then again, this is a year before I started going out drinking, so I wouldn't have noticed.
yeah. Well,
God,
you wouldn't.
imagine
Yeah,
that.
and like so Sundays, yeah, people would go out and they'd come home at like 2 o'clock. But then a lot of places did illegal. So
But then you had Sky Sports still at this point. I mean, what did people do for football?
I know, right?
Sorry, I'm just yeah,
Um,
I
Well, the
know.
Sunday afternoon kickoff
Anyway,
was 3 o'clock. No, 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, wasn't it?
yeah,
So yeah, they would be back home having to watch it with the family, or the sports club, or the sports club, or the
yeah, I
gentleman's club, and
suppose, yeah,
which had different
yeah.
rules to pubs. So public houses were meant to close at 2 o'clock because of the Sunday
But you could
thing.
have like a Labour
Yeah,
club or a Conservative club, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that, yeah.
So 26th of
Okay.
August, Middlesbrough FC moved into their new 30,000 seat stadium, the Riverside Stadium, which replaced the Urson Park, which had been their home since 1903. I remember this was being built. Wasn't it also called the BT Cellnet Stadium as well?
That rings a bell. Probably what about 1996, maybe 97.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
So I
surprise me
do
because
remember
you
that.
think about it, they're always changing. That does ring a bell because I know that. God, Nicky Barmby. I remember seeing stickers with him having that on on his shirt.
Yeah.
See, if we say enough Tottenham players, maybe the ghost of Danny will appear.
Yeah, who had the Craig Hignett was of the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ex
Was this
Derby, I think.
wasn't
I don't
this
know. That would
this
just say no footballers.
trying to think of who
I,
else they would have had. Robbie Mustoe, maybe? I don't know.
yeah, maybe Ravanelli a couple of seasons after, you know.
I think he was 96,
Um,
wasn't he? He joined 96,
yeah,
97.
it was quite early on.
Yeah.
The thing is, though,
Um,
what's surprising is the fact it's a 30,000 seat stadium.
yeah,
Bolton Wanderers got theirs, that fits in about 26 to 27,000 a couple of years after. And
yeah,
I'm only pointing this out because these are the teams that weren't necessarily in the Premiership for that long, or they were a bit, yo-yo-y. But
yeah.
you think it was a start to move away from those older older grounds because even someone like Wigan, 5 6 years on, moved away from like Springfield Park, which was dump really. And then they obviously had their ground share with the rugby team. So I think even the lower leagues started to realise, as there's a little bit more money in it, potential, where you've got the actual laws, you've got to have fully seated stadiums. I can't remember if it was like a deadline, but I know that like if you went to the Premiership, you had to get certain standards. So obviously, at the time, Middlesbrough, I don't know if it was like through a load of steel. Was it like steel money? I know Blackburn were like they got Jack Walker's money, but
Yeah.
they must have had a lot of money to put into signings like Ravanelli and
They did
Nicky
have a
Barmby.
rich owner, didn't they?
Yeah, see, that's what's just ringing a bell. But again, I bet it seems like pocket change nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah.
30 years ago. But
It
yeah,
does.
it just shows, how different it is. But no, it's quite interesting to think back at that, because you go to that stadium now and you think it's the same when I go past, Bolton's and I go, it's almost 30 years ago,
I know.
so
And so,
that means their stadium, right? So it built in 1903, so it's had just short of 100 years. And you think now some of the stadiums that were new, that's had like a third of that.
well, the
Of
Emirates is
the
20
original.
years as well.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But then, like at some point, where and when do you upgrade it a little bit and patch it up and stuff like that? You
Well,
know.
we've just done
So
that,
like,
haven't we, with the
yeah, but then there's only so much money and like fucking fortune.
I
But
know,
I
it's
don't
crazy.
know.
That's why a lot of people sell the grounds, don't they, as well? Like Coventry sold it,
Yeah,
so they rent it.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a
Anyway,
break, come back
sorry.
into the year 2005, where I'll have even less to say about me.
At W.H. Smith, you can find out about the bizarre mating ritual of the Amazonian tree frog. And
They got loads of knockout sports videos. Know what I mean, Harry?
Thank you. The answers to all your questions on current affairs.
Magic tricks and games that you will like, but not a lot.
And pop pickers, you'll find loads of records, not half.
all from the same shop that sells comics. There's more to discover at W.H. Smith.
Not like that, like that.
Welcome back to 2005, Paul. We have some shit
God
movies to get through, so let's
almighty.
get through them, shall we? So first off,
The
we have
Dukes of
them
Hazzard.
Hazard Boys. Yeah, Dukes, yeah, which was Johnny Knoxville, Sean William Scott taking on the lead roles of the Dukes of Hazzard, with Jessica Simpson
Basically,
playing the. She was the love. She was
cousin,
cousin,
love
wasn't she? Daisy
interest,
Duke.
same
So she
thing
was
in
like
certain
cousin
areas.
something. Yeah. You had Burt Reynolds in
Yeah.
it as well. I
I've not watched it, but
didn't watch
the
this,
cast is about right.
mostly
Do you know what I mean?
because
I think they've got that cast quite bob on,
yeah,
because Sean William Scott was quite well known at the time, not
yeah.
just for American Pie, but for Road Trip and others. And Johnny Knoxville was obviously. Oh my god, yeah,
He'd
quite
done
like that.
Evolution by
Yeah,
this point as well.
yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe. It was the
Yes,
Ghostbusters sequel
yeah,
that we
yeah.
always needed. It was that sort of. How good if they'd recast Ghostbusters back then? How good would
I know.
David
I'm
have
surprised that they
David
didn't do
Duchovny
something
been
like
as
that.
Peter Venkman?
Especially the gaps
I
between.
mean, he would have been perfect. And you could have
Orlando
even got
Jones.
Orlando. Oh my
No,
God, what's his name?
that's a film. No. Oh no, I was thinking Osmosis
Yes, he
Jones.
could. He could
Is
have
it
been
Orlando
Winston.
Jones? Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, that was the name that was coming to me.
No. Are
Not
you
through
there,
like a spirit
Orlando?
medium or anything. Because I do not have Derek
Yes.
Okora here.
Yes.
Oh, he's dead anyway, isn't he? So it could be. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's his Scouse voice in the background. Oh, Jesus. But yes, shit movie. I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't seen it,
I
but yeah,
still got
I
free
would.
rentals
I would assume
from
it was shit.
Blockbuster at this point
Um,
because I was still just about working at Game Station in 2005 because I left in September 5. But yeah, I wasn't bothered about this or the next one or the one after or any of these. Oh, for
so
fuck's
the next one, The Island, which I have watched, but I don't remember it. I was looking at the cast and I was like, oh my God. So it's got Ewan McGregor, Scarlett Diamond Hounsou. I don't know how to pronounce his surname. He's in Gladiator and stuff like that. Sean Bean, Michael Clark Duncan, and Steve Buscemi. So I mean, like
It's
decent
just
one, but
it
I can't
recently
remember a
had a
thing about it.
4K
Unfortunately.
release by Arrow Video, and we had quite a few people coming in asking for it. Yeah, no, not bothered.
Nope. So next one, The Cave. See this?
I've
Apparently, it's an
heard of it. I
American
think it's
monster
got like
film.
a red cover, a red and black cover. I don't know. Like listen. I like my horror, and I've not
Okay.
seen this. The Cave. Oh no, it's not. It's yeah, not seen this.
So the next movie then. Next movie is Crash, which came out quite a bit earlier in America, which is weird. Like we were saying about Mean Girls as well, which came out a lot earlier. Came out a lot later in England, which was just bizarre. So this one is a ensemble cast which has Sandra Bullock, Don Cheadle, Matt Dillon, Jennifer Esposito,
Yes, he
William
is.
Fichtner.
Yeah,
He is
that's
an
the type of
underrated
person
character actor, actually.
who, like, because in Prison Break, he became
one
one
of
of my
my
favorite characters. Yes,
yeah. I mean, he's does
and
so
he's
many
in one of
great
the Batman
he
films.
has so many
He's
great
the
roles.
bank clerk
Where you're
in
just
the second Nolan one, Joker. Yeah, he's a bank clerk in that, and I was
Dark
like,
Knight,
oh,
isn't it?
yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic.
But no, he's a fantastic character actor. One of my favorite actors, Brendan Fraser, Terrence Howard, Chris Ludacris Bridges, Fonda Newton, Michael Pena,
What's happened
and
to
Ryan
him?
Felipe.
He used to be around. I never fancied this. I remember
I
it
have
coming
not
out.
seen this.
I was like, what? They've re-released the Cronenberg Crash film. But then obviously when this came out, we had to, like at HMV, it was like Crash 2005 version, Crash 1997 version, and it's obviously quite a different film.
Yeah, this one did not have anyone having sex into
Yeah,
someone's open
I think that's
wound,
why it's not highly
um,
rated.
like the 1997 one with James Spader. Yeah, yeah. The next movie then is a terrible Americanized of the
Just
Nick
why is this
Hornby
Drew
book
Barrymore?
Fever Pitch. This one, this is Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon. So Jimmy Fallon plays the Colin Firth character. For those who know, Fever Pitch was originally by Nick Hornby, which was going about fictional life of a character based loosely on Nick Hornby around the Arsenal 1988-89 season, where they dramatically outfield in the last minute with Michael Thomas through the middle. Oh, it is in there. That's my impression of Brian Moore when he did that commentary. And yes, so the Fever Pitch that the Americans did was based on the oh god, what are their names?
I'm not up on it
The
as
Red
well.
Sox, Boston Red Sox, when they won the series for the first time in God knows how many years. Yeah, and they won it. So they won that, and this is based on Jimmy Fallon playing a character with the same sort of thing, where he's got this relationship with a girl, but he's also got this baseball. But their one is a lot more cheesy, because of course, and it's just awful. It's just awful. I absolutely hate it. I watched it just because I do love the book, and I did love the original film as well. So I'll watch it, and I regretted watching it the second that it started. Basically, it was absolute terrible, terrible, terrible cinema. So never watch it, people. It's shit. Okay, so music. Music singles. "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt, still
We've
number
talked
one
about
for 3
James
weeks
Blunt.
of this.
Don't like
of
his
this month.
music, but I like him.
You know,
Couldn't even tell
yeah.
you what that is.
"I'll Be
at
Okay"
all.
by McFly was number one for the last week. Don't know either. I do have a little McFly joke, not joke, but antidote for 2005. In fact, so I thought I'd try my luck at writing to companies and making to see if I can get free stuff. It worked a lot. So I wrote to Virgin Megastore and said I was in their Cambridge branch. I was trying to buy a copy of the latest Fly album, and they laughed at me so much that I didn't make the purchase and ran out of the shop, and I didn't go back. And they sent me a voucher for £20
You absolute
as
scab.
compensation.
Jesus Christ.
Well, a bit of a wheeler dealer, but yes, that's what happened to me. Hopefully, the statute of limitations is up on that one
for all our Virgin
for any
Megastore
Bobbies
stores
listening.
still standing.
Albums. Yeah, hopefully Richard Branson is not listening, and will not take me to court for that £20. So albums, "Bad Day" by Daniel Powter was number one for the whole month. Yeah, off that one song, I'd imagine, because I don't remember anything else he did.
Sorry, I've just
No. So TV.
It is
TV.
And I
This
didn't
is your time,
realise
Paul.
it was-
Channel 4.
I didn't
August the
realise though it
10th.
took a year to come out. It took almost a year though to come out.
Lost.
Because it was 2004 in America.
Yeah. Yeah, so it did. It came out like what happened with 24. So 24 came out a bit late on BBC Two originally. And it was only once the series got really popular that then Sky took it, and that's what happened with Lost as well. So Channel 4 originally had Lost, and after I think it was season 3, that's when Sky stepped in and were like, "Oh no, we're having this now.
So
you're not having it anymore for free."
I've tried to rewatch Lost a few times now. I got with Harry. It's her favourite show. So when we got together in 2009, it was on series 5, and I had a massive marathon to get caught up to like the last few episodes of season 5 that were on every Sunday night on Sky. And then I just thought this is great, and it still gets like a lot of people moaning about it, sometimes just trying to be a bit clever. But
well, the last 2 seasons
they're
are
not, though.
absolute dross.
They're not.
They are.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I still watch them.
Yeah,
And I still
yeah, I know.
cried on the
I've
last
got to say, I
episode when
think
I'm
it's
saying goodbye
because
to all the characters.
you can only really have so many, I suppose, big moments where, we talk about like the water cooler shows, where it's a case of like, oh, what's going to happen next? And remember, on this
Yeah,
time, you've not got as much social media, you've not got YouTube and everything and just watching things. So you really got forums and then seeing people at work or school or
yeah,
college, whatever, that'd be you talking about stuff. But then you think, and like say, Carrie says this, analysing the episode each week, because obviously you're on countdown,
yeah,
6 days to the next one, 5 days to the next one. This is what I'm doing at the moment, Dexter current series, because it's all very well when they do a Squid Game and put all the episodes up on Netflix at once, or sometimes even do, say, half of the episodes and then a month after the other half. But then sometimes it's hard to remember everything that's
yeah,
happened. But when you're going week by week, um, it's sort of like, well, we touched on 24 before, but with 24 Lost, and again, I get laughed at for it, but like Desperate Housewives, and a little bit later. I know it was good. Oh no, no,
Desperate
I
Housewives was
know,
so
and
good.
that
Don't
and
ever
Lost
let
were
anyone tell you
advertised
otherwise.
at the same time. In the UK. I remember the big, Channel 4 for them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They kept it.
Channel 4 kept
It
Desperate Housewives, though,
eventually went on
didn't
to
it? Like
E4,
Sky
I
didn't steal
think,
that,
if
so
I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, it
that
was
was it.
annoying
Yeah,
because I
it
think it was
did. Yeah,
series 3. Lost went to Sky. Yeah,
it did. Just
it's just
season 3 where it went to Sky, which is when I
and
stopped
24 was the
watching for a
same. It
bit because
went
I
from
didn't have Sky.
BBC to Sky.
So yeah,
You know,
yeah, and this is what I was saying. It's annoying when that happens because
but
you
it's
get
the same
into
with
something
Walking Dead.
now you got to pay for it.
The last series of
But I was
Walking
watching it on
Dead went to
TV.
Disney.
Channel
But
4,
no,
yeah,
I think with Lost, when I watch it now,
yeah,
I think it'd be good to watch it with someone who's not seen it before, and then you're seeing them go, "Oh my god, what's in the hatch? Oh my god, who's this now? Oh my god, what's this?"
yeah. I know, but the thing is, though, all the build up to the mystery is fantastic. But the payoff on nearly every single
But
thing
look, we know
is
full well there's
shit.
still stuff that never got 100% answers.
Oh, there's
But
loads of stuff that's not
then
resolved.
again,
There's loads
the
of
amount of
threads that
times
you're
I've
like, well,
gone
what
and sit
happened to
down with
them?
a book and start making notes on, the different threads, going, yes, that got a conclusion. Yes, that got a conclusion. One didn't, and stuff. But I think Lost is it's a show of moments. It's got a lot of standouts. Um, and yeah, at points, I think obviously it lost its way a little bit on some stories, where it's like, oh god, did we back
Yeah,
ourselves in the corner with some things or whatever? You know, um, you could easily go a top 40 lost moments show. In fact, we probably did that when it was like the 10-year anniversary, of finished in 2010. But like you go back now, and the fact that show's over 20
yeah.
years old. It's like it sounds insane. Really, really does. I'm looking at the lost box sets in front of me,
I know.
just underneath the telly, and yeah, I just remember whizzing through, like say 5 series on DVD and everything. It's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, I enjoyed watching.
It is. So yeah, I think like I said, I watched it all the way, beginning to end, loved it. But when I have rewatched it, I've face palmed so many times at the screen. Oh, that was so bad. But anyway, let's move on from Lost, and move on to the amazing amount of video games in August 2005, which was nothing. So we'll move on then to news. On the 11th of August, British Airways ground flights as baggage handlers, loaders, and bus drivers strike in support of 800 sacked by flight catering company Gate Gourmet. The strike also affects other airlines, causing chaos at Heathrow.
God.
Yeah. 12th of August, radical Islamic preacher Omar Bakri Mohammed, barred from returning to the UK after Home Secretary Charles Clarke cancels the indefinite leave to return Mohammed was given after claiming asylum in 1986.
You know, to stop the proper wrong-uns.
Yeah.
Next. Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. It does happen.
Yes.
20th of August, the Rioch Arena, we were just talking about, 32,500-seater multipurpose stadium in Coventry is opened. It's owned by the local council, and Coventry FC are its key tenants, and it is likely to be used as a venue. Japanese electronic goods manufacturer Rioch purchased the stadium's name and rights in a multi-million pound deal.
So 32,000 in Coventry, and you think that's probably the right sort of size, because at that point, I don't think they. Yeah, that's exactly.
I mean, they were what, championship?
Because I think at that point they may have gone into Premiership maybe once after 2005. I don't think they have been. They have been in the Premiership, but I'm thinking of the more 90s Premiership. In fact, yeah.
Yeah, they were in the Premier League.
It's been a while. So like last time Coventry were in the Premier League was 2000, 2001. Wow. So it's been a while, 25 years now. Yeah, fair enough. But then again, this is what we're saying. So even someone like Middlesbrough, back up to Premiership, I don't think either. Since in the noughties, unless they may have done it once. Anyway, the thing is, the Championship grounds, had to improve. And this is why you've still got that big jump from League One, especially back then, to the Championship. And there's obviously money around. And they just know that they need to have that stadium ready to fit in 30-odd thousand, which is fine. Because, again, even if you did go up and you had a ground of 30-odd thousand, at the time there were loads of who had crowds of around that, and capacities to around that. Like Everton have only just, recently sorted out their ground, and I think they may have been on 40-odd thousand, because not everything was like, Old Trafford having in like, 70,000 and stuff. Remember, for years, Arsenal were only on 37, or 38, up until the year after this. So, yeah, it makes sense, but it's surprising. The fact is, it shows that grounds were changing, where it'd be like, well, we can use them for concerts as well, because again, Oasis were Reebok in the late 90s as well and stuff. So it's another way to get money in, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back to 2015, where I will speak even less about music.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world.
Hello, welcome to the year 2015. Okay, let's go straight into the movies. We have got something absolutely awful to begin with. The 2015 version of Fantastic Four. This movie was every second of it. It stars Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, Jamie Bell, Arsenal fan, so we'll give him a leeway. But it's such a bad movie. It's just awful. Everything about it's terrible. Yeah. I mean, the cast seems like encouraging when I first saw the cast. Oh, it'll be all right.
Was
And
that
then
Kate
you see the
Mara
movie
in
and it's absolute
24?
dire.
I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was a bad.
I think so.
Because all the new women, all the women who like going,
She
yes,
was, yeah.
new
She
IT
was, yeah.
expert, whatever like that. It's like, oh my god, baddie, and you know, it's always a kid
Yeah.
surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. Terrible. Let's move
Who's
on.
in it?
The Gift.
don't even
I've
recall
not
it.
seen this.
Yeah. Anyway, move on.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll move on. So Absolutely Anything, which is a
With Simon Pegg.
science fiction comedy movie, directed by Terry Jones, with Simon Pegg, Kate Beckinsale, Sanjeev Bhaskar, Rob Riggle, Eddie Izzard, and Joanne Lumley. And it also has the voices of John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, Eric
Never
Idle,
watched
Michael
it.
Palin, and Robin Williams,
Never
and as
watched
well
it.
as Terry Jones himself as well. It's the worst movie I've seen by anyone involved in Monty Python.
Yeah, because to be fair, we've got a good run, but this never ever. I've seen it. I've seen it. What's it called? You know, for to buy and things like that. But no, never.
So, well, it's basically right. So they're trying to decide. There's a space council is trying to decide whether or not they're going to destroy life on Earth, right? And they give this one random person, Simon Pegg, the power to do absolutely anything, right? And after 10 days, they'll see whether or not the planet's worth saving. And yeah, he's just basically head over heels in love with his neighbor, who's Kate Beckinsale, and does everything he can to be with her, but then starts doing stuff that actually makes the human race seem a bit more appealing. And, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of shite, really. For something from, you know, we've got Terry Gillingham involved, Terry
You
Jones
really do. I'm
involved.
just looking at the
You
cast
expect
now, and you're
better.
like, oh my god.
You The cast's fantastic. Yeah, and obviously it's a late, you know, not
Yeah, it
it's
just
a
seems
rather
to the
late Robin
voice.
Williams movie as well, because yeah. So yeah, but it's not good. I watched this at the cinema because of it
Yeah,
being
but
part of
oh
it's
god,
the
no,
Pythons. You know,
no,
I was like, yeah, let's go. And
no.
it's not good. It's not good. I felt so bad watching it. Oh, why aren't these guys
So
funny
the
anymore?
next one, again, this is had a 4K release, and
Next
I'm
one. So
jumping in.
this is
And but Man from Uncle.
Yeah. So this is The Man from Uncle, which is loosely based on the
Yeah, I think
television
60s.
the 60s, I believe. And yeah, this is Guy Ritchie's take on it. So it's a bit, you know, a lot of fast cuts and things like that.
I've
It's
been
not
told.
bad
I've been
actually, as like
told
a
I should
spy
watch
thriller
it because
goes.
it's had, like I say,
It's
it's had this
pretty
4K
good.
release, and people say, honestly, Paul,
It's
it's a lot better than you'd expect. And I'm like going, really? I should look out for it
it
on
is. It's
ITV4 or something.
it is good, right? It is good. Henry Cavill is fantastic as the Man from
Yeah.
Uncle. You've got Arnie Hammer in it as um, but then you've got Hugh Grant, who
Is he
is
hamming it
just
up? I do
dynamite.
like. Right,
In it.
I like Hugh Grant hamming it up.
He's hamming it up so much, and
Oh, wasn't he in The
he
Gentleman
in
as
Guy
well?
Ritchie's films, he's
Yeah,
fantastic hamming it up.
the bad guy.
He
Or
was,
no?
he was. He played
Yeah.
the journalist.
All
Yeah,
right,
the
yeah.
bad guy. He was the bad guy, but he was the journalist who was like trying to manipulate everything. And then he was in that movie
Oh,
with Jason
yeah, that rings.
Statham
Oh,
and Josh Hartnett as well.
that's what I was thinking of.
Recently,
Oh
he
god,
plays the bad guy in that. He's so good in that as well. I mean, I could just watch Hugh Grant in any of these roles where he's just hamming it up.
well,
Yeah, he's so good. But yeah, this one is really good. It's a really good movie. Not a bad spy thriller, to be honest. And like I say, Hugh Grant just adds that extra something to the movie. I think if take him out,
yeah.
it becomes quite
I
dry.
might. Do you know what? I might give it a try.
and I don't think anyone else could have done it. And when you watch it, you'll see what I mean by, if you imagine anyone else playing character Hugh Grant played, you couldn't see the film being as good. And that's not, I'm not saying Hugh Grant
Oh,
actor. He's just
it's included with Prime.
fantastic in these sorts
I'm
of
fidget.
roles.
Oh
He's
God! I tell you what,
reinvented himself
I'm fidgeting and
fantastic.
listen to your 7.2 on IMDb, and it's on Prime. So maybe that's the next one. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Prime. Definitely watch it. So like I say, I love the fact that Hugh Grant has just like
Mm,
changed changed himself completely. He's
yeah.
just completely reinvented himself as an actor now. Because obviously before he was the bumbling British lovable
Yeah. No.
heartthrob.
No.
I'm doing
Yeah.
air quotes, you can't see that. Um, and as he got older, he's now aged into playing against his old stereotype, playing very flamboyant, like sometimes homosexual characters. Uh, I mean, he's in the Last Side as well
Right.
as Daniel Craig's husband, and does a
Oh.
really
Oh.
hammy
Oh.
job
Oh.
in that as well.
He's
It's really, he's so good as
and
this
again, talk about
as
everything
this
he's
sort
done
of character.
recently. He's in Oompa Loompa in Wonka, which is brilliant, and also he was in that Heretic,
Yeah,
which is more of a horror type um, film, and I absolutely loved that. No, he's moved up. I never thought
yeah,
I'd like and enjoy so many Hugh Grant films that I have done. I might actually watch that tomorrow.
yeah. This is what I mean by the way he's reinvented
Right.
himself has just been incredible, and you need to do that.
Oh,
And
I know.
not a lot of actors lean into that because you still have like I was saying this to I think maybe Danny on the last one of these about Tom Cruise, how he's just suddenly he's aged like really dramatically because he always looked very young, right, Tom Cruise, and now his face looks like he's very old, and he is. He's not very. He's older, and you just look and you think, play into your age. Like don't keep trying to be that action star. Lean into your age and try and reinvent yourself because you can't keep being
Yes.
the action star. You're too old
Or
now, Tom.
or just
And
no, just do what
do
they
what
did in
Hugh
the last
Grant does
Indiana
and just
Jones film
reinvent
and just
yourself.
do CGI to de-age Harrison Ford. Oh God. No, I know, but it was awful.
No,
Anyway,
let's not
right,
do
that's
that.
on the to-watch list. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on then. Let's move on to music.
Nope, don't
Singles,
know.
Drag Me
Can't
Down
believe it
by
was still
One Direction.
going then. Poof, poof,
Marvin
poof,
Gaye by
poof,
Charlie
poof, poof.
Puth. I wouldn't know how.
Love all
Puth,
these. Yeah.
featuring Megan Trainor.
Fucking hell.
Um, Don't Be So Hard on Yourself by Jess Glynn, who I only just realised
This is
she was the
absolute
woman off of
shit.
the adverts
I've
for
heard of these people.
Jet 2.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Albums. Yeah.
One of the
Albums.
worst
Born in the Echoes by
albums.
the Chemical Brothers.
Yeah.
Absolute
Stopped
terrible.
listening to
Yeah.
them
Marks
after
to Prove It, the
the
Maccabees.
noughties. Mm-hmm. Based on the film
Yeah.
soundtrack, I take
Compton
it,
by
maybe.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
I
Not
Yeah.
because she just
And
died,
then the
maybe.
very best of
Oh
Cilla
yeah.
Black.
Right, yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Exactly, yeah.
Spoilers.
Which is a news story coming up. So yeah, spoiled the news story. TV, nothing. No new TV in 2015 in August. Video games then. So we got Rare Replay on the one, which compilation of Rare's games which were chronicalizing their games from their days of Ultimate Play the Game as well on the Spectrum through all the way up to the Xbox 360 game. Obviously a lot of the N64 games that were
Yeah, but
tied
this was a
to
bargain.
Nintendo.
Oh no, there weren't
So
much.
well, not a lot. There were actually quite a lot. There was only GoldenEye really, wasn't it? And Mickey's Speedway Racing.
Yeah,
I
and
think they were
that'll be
the only
obviously.
two rare games.
Well, but that's down to you, obviously,
Oh,
your
and Donkey Kong 64.
licenses,
Donkey
isn't
Kong
it? But
64.
then I remember
Yeah,
talking about this with
licensing.
you when
Yeah,
this came out, and Phil, from Maximum Power Up, and
yeah,
I didn't own an Xbox. I've only ever so I was quite jealous that I couldn't get this, because obviously it only came out. But yeah, if this is one of those great compilations. Yeah, yeah, and
It's a wonderful collection. And it's one of those
yeah,
ones where I
yeah,
spent most of my time playing Snake Rattle and Roll. I think that's such a great game.
yeah.
That
Those
and
NES
Solar Jetman,
rare
like those two
games,
games,
fantastic. Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
yeah.
Battletoads is still stupidly hard, but I do absolutely love Snake Rattle and Roll and Solar Jetman. I think they're absolutely brilliant games, and they play.
Mhm.
I still think that they hold up fantastically in this day and age. I would love to see like new versions of those
Yes,
from Rare, but alas, alas. So next we have Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which is on PS4 and PC. Now I
yes.
adore this game. This is from the Chinese room, and it's a walking simulator. Basically, you're just walking through a British village, and everyone's gone. Like everyone's disappeared, and you see these little like you follow these flashes of light from different
Hmm.
characters' perspectives. So you follow the different stories of different characters during this like apocalyptic event, but only in this one village in England. But it's kind of a time capsule. It's kind of like it's stuck in like the 80s. So everything is very 80s. There's like, do you remember the
Yes,
blue
yes,
and
yes, I do.
yellow
Yeah, my friend had
BMX, the
one.
rally? Yeah. So there's those in it. There's Cortinas, but they're not Cortinas. Before
Mm.
Cortinas, they're different. Or the old Ford Sierras and stuff like that. They're there, but not branded as such. You can tell what model they are. And yeah, and it's just this really great thing. So you go around,
Yes,
start
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
the story play out of what's happened, and my god, it's the most
I,
enthralling story. I love it. I would just you just want to know. You're like, oh my god, did that really? And you're like, oh my god,
I
what's
never
happening
played
now? And then
it
you follow to
enough.
another.
I've had it on
God,
my PlayStation, and
it's so
then
good.
again, I never stuck with it. There's
Yeah.
another game coming up that I never stuck with either. I know
Oh, you've
it's one of those
got
where it's
to.
like
It's
highly
so
praised.
good.
I can't believe it's 10 years ago now.
See, this is the thing that really
Hmm.
annoys me about modern PlayStation, well, or Sony, with they don't do this anymore. They don't make these type of games anymore. Right, and because I was playing Sword of the Sea today, which came out today on PS5, and that game is the sort of game that PlayStation would have
Yeah,
published,
yeah,
like 10 years ago. Yeah, and they're not doing those games anymore. It's so sad because that for me, around this time, I would have said Sony were the best publisher on the planet. Right, they were just doing so many things across such a wide net of genres. Not all of them were hits, but they were trying, and they were doing these different things, just so
no,
interesting.
I think it's just
And
because no,
now it's
they
just
had they
dire.
obviously you've got people like the Chinese bought up, so the smaller studios are at this point, so it wasn't just them. It was other companies having one or two um, big hits with small teams. So with the PlayStation, remember this is where they
Mm.
started pulling away from Xbox, because remember the generation before, for most of it, at least early on, it was Xbox, and then it was like a bit neck and neck, and then obviously PlayStation 4 was, a big one out of the gates
Yeah,
because they built up
but
some, bigger series like Uncharted. But then they had games like this.
this was the thing though. I will I will say from the PS3 through the PS4, I don't think there's a publisher who does anything near the breadth of PlayStation. That includes Nintendo, right? And they like PS3. People scoff at
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
run,
yeah.
but
But
it's got
this is
so
what I
many
mean. It took
really
a while
good
to get
small
going.
games.
I would say,
Yeah, but then they had it. They had so many good things, like
yeah,
so many good small games that they were just
yeah, yeah.
churning out, and you were like, "Oh my, these are
It took a
the next
while,
indie
but as
game they
soon as I'd
published."
say, hang on, PlayStation 3 came out in '07. Yeah, I'd probably say
2007
by
over here, 2000 in
2010,
Japan.
maybe 2011. No, I'd probably say 2010 actually. That's when it started really, you know. It's gonna sound weird this, but when it had that hack, and everyone's data got nicked. I think that must have been about 2009, 2010. So
Yeah,
they really started. Well, was it?
I think it
Right,
was
okay.
later,
It
wasn't
was
it?
while I was still up at Middle
2011, I think,
Age. I remember that.
because it happened when was it Motorstorm
Okay. I
Apocalypse
remember
came
getting
out,
two
and you
free
couldn't play it
games given
online.
to me
The servers were down.
as digital. But no, I just, yeah.
Yeah.
Was
But that was the thing, though. But they were doing these. So they're really finding their group.
Yeah.
They had like the big
Yeah.
AAA stuff, your
Yeah.
Uncharted, your The Last of Us, and things. And then going into PS4, you ended up being The Last of Us again, obviously, and then PS5, The Last of Us again. But you also going to up getting like
Oh, yeah. No,
reimagined
no.
God of
Again,
War,
yeah.
Spider
Absolutely
Man,
fantastic.
Ghost of Tsushima, but then they supplemented it with stuff like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and then another game which came out this
Well, let's
Until
talk
Dawn.
about that as well in a
These
minute.
smaller,
Because following on, it's
more
keeping them together.
experimental
I mean,
games.
basically,
Yeah,
this is basically just the games industry.
yeah.
It's got, yeah, yeah. It's got its,
The game industry has changed, obviously, and have become
yeah.
more
You've
and
got
more.
your
They've become
ebbs
more and
and
more
flows.
conservative. And even Nintendo, I say, have become more and more conservative. Like if you play like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I've been playing recently, it's
Yeah, yeah,
very safe, and it does everything, and it's borrowing a lot of stuff from Super Mario Odyssey and the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom games as well. So it's borrowing a lot of this stuff, but it's doing it in a way that I don't recognize the
yeah.
creativity of Nintendo as much in Donkey as I did with Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, because this is doing
Yeah,
the
it's
same
only
sort of
because it's
stuff again,
yeah, yeah.
but it is doing
It's
it's
early
a really
days of
good
a new
game. I'm not saying
console.
it's not a bad game;
You
it's a
know
really good
full
game.
well
But
by this
and
time next year that Switch
yeah,
2 is going to have, like, oh my god, this new Mario game, this new, not Metroid because that's out soon, this new Kirby game because they've just done the Kirby
yeah,
direct today. So there's probably going to be some new fan.
yeah.
But I agree, when Odyssey came out, this is quite cool. There's some really good game mechanics, and you're not going to get everything. You know,
No, but Nintendo was still
yeah,
doing a lot more of the smaller stuff as well. And like I
Nintendo
say,
had to though, but
PlayStation were
Nintendo had
doing
to
all
because
of
of
this
what they
smaller
had at the
stuff.
time
But
as their
yeah,
hardware. The thing is,
yeah,
this is why I've stayed with PlayStation, because for PlayStation, it's always given me everything, you know, with the smaller games, the more interesting, quirky ones, and then also blockbuster and stuff. And then, you know, all that happened was that in the last decade, the Microsoft brand has just been beaten slowly, mainly through Xbox themselves.
although I
Like,
will say that
okay,
Microsoft are actually really good. Um, as a publisher, they've been doing some really
yeah.
good stuff. But fuck them as a company.
So
But yeah, their stuff
let's
they've been
just jump
doing
on
has
to
been
Until
fantastic
Dawn.
in terms
Sorry,
of
yeah.
software. But anyway, so they did, and there was also Until Dawn. So Until Dawn was a very interesting game. It originally started as a London studio
Mhm.
game, being with the Move controller. It was meant to be a Move exclusive game, but then got moved to
Oh god, I've only
God,
seen
what's the
this
name of the
recently
studio?
because I did
Who
that. I covered that horror game documentary, Terabytes. Why can't I think?
Yeah, but they got moved to this other studio, and Until Dawn Four became a. But there was
Yeah,
a.
yeah,
It's kind of like
yeah,
a
yeah,
choose your own adventure game, isn't it? So you're watching the horror movie
yeah,
basically, and you're deciding what characters do next, and
yeah.
that
It's a choose
then
your own adventure.
changes
It's a
the
choose your own adventure,
story.
like
So
so.
the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
you play it would maybe different to yeah, yeah, and it's done in a really really cool way, and it's actually play a horror game like this rather than just the usual. I'm going to try and
yeah,
kill the monsters, things coming up. It was it was very much a horror horror movie
yeah,
game, very much straight out of like the early noughties. You're like your Final Destination style,
yeah, yeah.
and or Wrong Turn or something, and done in a way that was interactive, and I
No,
thought it was
definitely. I mean,
really cool.
the fact that we've had
It
this
was a
year,
really
I
cool
think it
idea.
was, wasn't it? The anniversary edition and stuff like that. You know, it's just
The remake.
it's
Yeah.
well, the fact that they had so many
Yeah.
big name actors in it as well, obviously, and Panettiere, can't ever say it, you know, from Heroes, and then they had Remy Malek.
Yeah. Yeah, Rami Malek wasn't one of the
Can't think
Ashmores
off
in
the
it
top
as
of my
well.
head. I only looked a few months.
Wasn't what's his face?
Oh,
Who's in loads of things as
yes,
the bad guy?
yeah. Again from Prison Break.
Peter
Yeah.
Stormare.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the idea is
Yeah.
putting you into slash choose your own adventure book. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. When I watched that Terabytes documentary, I interviewed the director of the game, and he was saying he watched a lot of
Yeah.
what's it called? What can I think? No, things like
Slasher flicks?
Night Trap. You know, with like ideas of, you know, so it's like different decisions have
Ah,
different
yes.
outcomes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yes, yeah,
It was
brilliant.
super
It was
massive
bugging me
games,
because I
by the
was
way. It
like,
just come to
I've
me.
only looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a bad shout. So what have we got next?
Yeah.
Right, I'm not bothered.
Madden 16, which came out on everything. Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which came out on Xbox One, which was a
I've
remake
never played
of
any of
the
them ever
original Gears of War.
because I've not had an
Gears of War
Xbox
is
360.
it's a really good series. There's like, I think Gears of War 3 was kind of like a decline. Gears of War 4, I think, kind of was middling, but Gears of War 5 was absolutely fantastic, really good. No, Gears of War 3 was good. There was one after Gears of War 3 and before 4 that I didn't like. But yes, I really, this is actually coming out
Okay.
next week, I believe, on
Oh,
PS5.
okay. So maybe
Gears of
that's
War
my
Ultimate
chance to
Edition.
actually play them.
So, and it's actually a decent price,
Yeah,
$39.99 as well. So it's not too bad, considering there's going to be the Metal Gear Solid remake the same day, which is 70 quid. But you can play a remake of Gears of War.
yeah, and then also if it's got a
Save
decent
save a bit
story,
of
which I know
scratch.
a lot of people bang on about certain characters. No, but people bang on about the characters from
No,
Gears of
they don't
War.
have
I've
decent
I've
story.
heard people mention different people. All right, okay, right,
Yeah, but
okay.
not,
Well,
but
I'll
mostly
make sure
ironically.
that I check out.
Yeah, they're just slabs of meat
Oh,
running around with chainsaw guns. You don't play it for the story. You play it because it's actually like a really fun run and cover, pop and cover game. It's really good. It's kind of like
okay.
what you'd imagine a 3D Contra would have been if they properly stuck the landing with Contra
Yes.
in 3D.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the news then. First of August, singer and television star Cilla Black sadly passed away in
Oh my
Spain
God. I
at the
wonder
age of
if anyone started buying
72.
wonder if anyone started
She was
buying
a
a best of
massive
CD.
part of my childhood.
I bet that did well. Yeah.
They did,
Why
and
was
it
she
sold
big? Why was
massively.
she
Yeah,
big in
yeah.
your
But yeah,
childhood?
sadly, she was a massive part of my childhood.
Oh yeah,
Well, because
surprise,
of
surprise.
Blind Date and Surprise
Yeah.
Surprise. Yeah, so she was a huge part of my childhood on a Saturday evening,
Yeah.
sitting down and watching TV with the family. But
Yeah.
yeah, very
Yeah.
sad. Obviously, she
Yeah,
had a
like when
massive
I've been
singing
up in
career prior
Liverpool,
to television.
there's still always, you know,
Um,
things like memorials still a black lady back in the 60s or early 70s, you know.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, sad. 22nd of August, an RAF Hawker Hunter crashes into vehicles at 8
God.
Shoreham in West Sussex, and 11
Oh,
people are killed and
I
14
can't even
injured.
remember stuff like that. Oh,
So it was
wow.
part of the Shoreham Air Show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jeez.
shock. I do remember that being
Great.
on the news. And oh my goodness. 24th of August, British IT consultant Chris Norton, Legion d'Honneur, France's highest decoration for his bravery in the 2015 Delhi's train attack in France.
Nope, I'm not up on this.
I don't know what he did, but so brave. But yeah. British IndyCar driver Justin Wilson dies of during a race at the Pocono Raceway,
Pocono? I don't know.
Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania. Pocono, maybe, yeah, in Pennsylvania in the
So
States
not
of
one I'm
America.
up on.
And that, no, I. But that leads us to the end of the show. And
No,
yeah,
it's been
so all I
good.
can say is thank you very much for
Like I
joining me,
said,
Paul,
every time I
again.
enjoy this because sometimes there's things that happen and there's always some leave with a film to watch. So I think tomorrow night I'm going to watch A Man from and give that a try. Definitely.
Good. Yes, watch The Man from Uncle, definitely. And
Yes.
yeah, and then you'll be able to say, yes, I agree with you, Chris, that Hugh Grant could only have played that
Oh,
role.
right. Okay. And me and maybe Danny, fingers
Yeah.
going crossed, or cross your fingers. Hopefully talk about Amiga.
Yeah,
Yes,
you'll be
yes, it is
back
coming
with
soon.
a Amiga episode.
But yes,
Yeah.
no, you'll be on
Yes, I
holiday.
hope so. I sadly
You'll
won't
be
be
doing the
around
Danny and going away on.
for the rest of the month. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will actually be the one not turning up. Yeah. So yeah, we'll leave it there and join us next time where we find out, did we really all live in a yellow submarine?